All right, getting settled in, getting started in a minute. I don't know what we're doing, but we're going to make more money in the process, whatever it is. City's on the mend. I think we're at like 379 million. And on our way to 1 billion. Decoy, what's up? Welcome. Oh man, I get the music cranked in my headset. I'll turn it down for you too a little bit, so that it is background music, not. I had it very much foreground music in my headset. Yeah, becoming a billionaire in cities is my only hope at this point. We're pretty sure the rest of our chances are cooked. IRL. There's not going to be any money left to make when Elon's robots make it all. So, for anyone that wasn't around for last night's stream, I've had a very successful city. It's got hundreds of millions in the bank, but it was bleeding money at a pretty decent rate. And we figured out some things with mass transit yesterday, and we are in good shape. We're in the green again. Well, most of the time. There's still waves where it's losing money. I mean, if I hadn't... Have I accidentally dropped a meteor on this city? I've probably, like, ruined my progress at some point. I definitely, like... I got really impatient, and I wanted to redo a neighborhood, and by neighborhood, I mean where 30,000 people used to live. Oh, I wish I had the soundbite ready. What is it, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. I need that one for moments like that. But I basically bulldozed like 30,000 people out of the city during a death wave, and I think it was like a 40 to 50,000 population drop. And it took a while to climb back from that, but we're there. I think we're there now. Climbed out of the financial ruin of that. Okay, let's get our starting soon off a little earlier than we did yesterday. We'll do it at 9 o'clock on the dot. What do you know? Hey, I didn't wait till 17 past to take the starting soon down. That's good. Let's take a look where we are at. I mean, we're at dusk, and apparently we've got some power problems. Is it a budget thing? Is my nighttime budget not good enough anymore? Can we go back up? You can. Okay. Yeah, it's just not producing enough electricity. Man, do we have to go higher? We at least don't have to do 150% on our medical care. Was that? I went to the wrong thing. I want to go to the info views and see it at 3 times speed. That was not enough. Wow. Okay. Nighttime, huh? What if we make it daytime? What if we stop showing off the city at night and then people need less electricity? Still, though, we're getting to that point where we may as well put it up to 100%. Time to think about another power plant. I am running razor thin on the budget over here. 2 a.m. Appreciate it. All right. So, what do we got over here? We got a couple things to up. I do want to get to the point where everything that's in the city is turned on, but a lot of it is disabled for one reason or another, like just not needing a cloud. Like, what am I saving here? $640? Like, I think we're past saving $640. We won't turn on the train stations yet because I haven't set that up yet. I think the campus, though, the campus is here with all the sports and stuff. I've got to knock out all these office buildings that I moved in temporarily. That was just to meet some demand when I didn't feel like building, but this stuff doesn't belong here. Let's D-zone. We'll let it move out the old-fashioned way through awkwardness. of yoinking the deed to the land out from under them. Eminent domain, as it were. And I think we could look at moving a couple things in here, but like that is just like those giant office buildings are not what belongs here. So we will rethink that. 6 p.m. where you're at, you're over on the Pacific. Got an amusement park somewhere? Yes, they're decent income generators if they are linked to public transport. I do have an amusement park. The amusement park is awful. It's over here, and like I made a bunch of space for it, and I love spamming the gift shops everywhere. I either have to drink some water or I'm getting sick. I don't know. Throat's very dry all of a sudden. Okay, so I love spamming gift shops everywhere at the entrance. Like, you should not be able to walk in or out of the park without walking by a gift shop. And in fact, over here at the zoo, you can see we've got 4 on either side of the path. And then if you happen to use the back exit to the park, there is another 6 back here that you have to walk past. Don't mind the dead bodies and trash while you're shopping. Please shop. Please commerce. And maybe go out the other way by the other gift shops so you don't have to walk by the trash and the bodies. So the zoo takes up a decent amount of space. And I actually like, if I stop buzzing around too much. Okay, so we've got the zoo, and this tunnel actually goes over to this island for now. So it comes out over here. So there is a unique exit off the highway that only handles the amusement park and the zoo. The zoo is very well fleshed out, in my opinion. Like, I think this is pretty good. I'm okay with this. If you told me somebody else built this, I would believe you. Because this is prettier than my normal builds, I think. I like this a lot. The layout is pretty cool. Let's walk it. Let's come in from the subway. Let's be taller. I wish it was a baller. What is this? Sorry, notifications. Clearing them out. Okay. All right, so here we are. We'll go 1x speed. We're at the zoo. Whatever your, in this case, college color is what a lot of your Sims will walk around wearing. Do we need better light, or are we okay with this? Why is the sun so low in the sky? Is it springtime? Does it change? No, it's June. Does it not, I was gonna say, does it change the height in the sky? Where to? Here. Okay. I mean, when you're really inspecting it this closely down here, you can see little mistakes like this. Maybe we fix this. Cut the grass back just a little bit. But the grass is designed to kind of cut off your view as well, to make the area feel a little bit more constrained at first, to steer you down one of these paths, hopefully towards the gift shops. But let's go towards the center courtyard here. We could throw in some tolls. I don't want to make it too cheesy though, for sure. A toll here or there, maybe. I especially like them in industry areas, but they also incredibly complicate things. So this park does have I think a pretty good flow. Like I thought about it from like an actual park perspective of like, how would you walk around the exhibits, and when you finish this one, why is everyone gathered on this side? Okay. Well, anyways, they gather over here, and you can walk around. You can see like into the next exhibit, even though that's not how you get to it. And again, the grass is here to kind of separate and make these areas feel separate. Cut lines of sight. You don't look that dangerous. See, they're fine. They don't eat birds or anything. They don't like birds. Can we jump on the rock? Or is that... Oh, you can. Okay. All right. Well, see, they're not that dangerous. Don't try that at home, kids, please. Especially in a bird suit. Do you see like 100 old people here? Yeah, I know. It's the hangout, man. It's the hangout. Speaking of... So again, it's laid out, I think, pretty well if you think about like how you might traverse the park. If you happen to go right, there's an exhibit over there and it loops you back around. And you can walk in towards the flamingos. You can see the elephants. Who do we have over here? The hippos. Sorry, rhinos. I didn't see the horns at first. It was like moose, elk, caribou, the bison. So it's got a pretty decent layout. It makes sense as a park. Like you can see yourself traversing through it, and there's an exit on the other side, which is going to be connected to when I eventually build this out. The temple and the hotel over here will be a little bit more fleshed out. I thought maybe of doing a monorail connecting the two, but the theme park itself is underwhelming in size. Like, this is the zoo, and most of that is filled out. Like, this is an exhibit here, right? Like this grassy patch is an exhibit. So like, and so is this, right? And this. It's all stuff that you see on screen. Like, that's all zoo. And over here at the amusement park, there's not enough stuff. This belongs in the zoo. This shouldn't even require a separate ticket. It would be offensive to split this into a 2-day ticket. Like you need a park hopper ticket. No, this is not enough of a draw to be its own thing. What about a metro station at the zoo? We started walking from the metro station at the zoo. That's where we started our walk. The parking lot is, so the highway exits, the metro's right there, parking lots. Even though everybody ignores the parking lot to park, I forgot to tell you, there's a gang of scooter bike, wheelchair bike people. There's a gang of them. And they hang out at the zoo. And they T-pose when they get out of cars. What the heck? I don't think I've ever seen that. They T-pose when they get out of cars all the time? Is that a thing they do that I did not notice? T-pose for us, please. Okay, well, the zoo I'm happy with. Do I bring, like, I'm thinking of bringing the amusement park over here and then just tucking it in with things like the temple, this thing. Maybe we build a bunch of uniques into it to make it look a little bigger, and we turn it into, or maybe I leave it over here. Maybe we do that and we do a bunch of uniques and make like a little Epcot lagoon, travel around the world, drink your way around the world, and go get back on the piggy ride and throw up on that, ruin some kid's vacation and traumatize them for life. I mean, maybe not the second half of that, but ferry. I've never done ferry, and I don't really want to do a boat just to go back and forth from there. I'd consider monorail, but we already have the cars here. Like, you could get in your car, loop back around. You never even have to hit the highway. You can just drive your pocket car over, tunnel under. Because I did have a monorail at one point, but the monorail is clunky at best. It's not great. Bike path to the zoo be handy. We actually we didn't get rid of bike paths. I didn't have a bike infrastructure yesterday, but we did turn off encourage biking to try and get more people in mass transit, and it started making our city more money. Linking to the main city. Yeah. I don't know. I just like, let's look at the transit options, because honestly, I am not a fan of a lot of them. The only thing I'm using buses for right now is to make the schools that are turned off look like they are busy. Because these are turned off because we have the Hadron Collider. So we have the high capacity high school on the right, elementary school on the left. And I've got 3 bus routes that run around the residential area, and they stop in front of these 3 buildings. And just give it kind of a look of like, you know, it's a little bit busy. The parks get populated. This guy's just getting dunked on for 7 years straight now. The guy in red, he's terrible. Cannot play defense, literally to save his life. Watch, he's gonna go left. He's gonna go left. I'm telling you, he's gonna go left. He's gonna go to the left. Don't forget the right hand. He's going to the left. Haha, fooled you, idiot. Okay. So transport-wise, so buses are just decorative for me at this point for the school. Trolley buses are a big no, because you may as well do trams if you have to do road infrastructure. Trams are great, but I don't have any in this town. Metro we do have. I'll take a look at those lines. We did do a little bit of adjusting on those, but we never got all the way through them. Some of them are pretty heavily used. Trains we will have eventually. There is... Where? Yeah. Oh, okay, over here. So train coming in from the outside. All the industrial areas have their own train spots. But I did want to do like an elevated train through here. And then we have the bypass tracks that don't stop at the station, so you can drive by. And I think I've got, what, another one down here. Did I not bypass track that one? I just threw that one on the line? Okay. We'll have to change that around a bit. And then I've got a slightly different station over here at the school. Do we maybe skip the school and put it like over here? Like this is like a train yard. And then make a stop at the airport, maybe? That's a possibility. And we'll find some other place to hook a station in. Or just have it run on that side of the city. It doesn't need to be an internal. Everybody loves so I don't know why I hate all these, but apparently everybody loves all the stuff that I do not like from a transit perspective. I'm so particular. Like, I like trams, maybe trains. Tram and metro are my jams. I don't like the ferry management. I might rip the fishing industry out altogether because I am not a fan. The helicopters. Oh my God. What city did I have helicopters in? There was just thousands of people waiting for helicopters. They like prefer it or something and don't know that there's literally a homunculus that will wait for all eternity for that helicopter and you're never getting on it. Cable cars are really low capacity, aren't they? They're for like going up insane inclines. They don't hold a lot of people, right? They can't. Taxis, buses, walking tours. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Trolley buses like kind of look cool, but I don't see the point of committing to a road network when that road network could support a tram which can support more people and look cooler doing it. I messed around with this. I'm definitely going to change this up, but we have this key wall with the walking. And I need to do some landscaping here because it is a little wild, especially up here. So I'm not sure what we're going to do to get down this incline. If we end the key wall, if we bring the key wall all the way down, it can't quite line up with this fishing business, which also is way too tall. So maybe we fix that later. How are these in comparison to the boat? Those are a little better in comparison to the boat. Maybe we just move them down here and look at the water. The water's so weird. They're going like up a waterfall. Can you imagine driving up that stream? It's crazy. Taxis are trash are like 20p per passenger. Yeah, that's not That's just a wasted traffic. It's for the look, if anything, to have some taxis around your city. What do? We might need an industrial yard. Could figure out some commercial pockets. We got to clean up around the stadium. Do I turn the driving range on? Like, how much is that? $1,000? Are we eating into our money turning on all the uniques? No sewage coverage over here? Really? That's weird. At some point I might clean up my pipes too, because I had so many redundant pipes around these islands. Like, we only need to cover the buildings. We don't really need... I bet we don't need this. Okay, let's see what we can do about cleaning up at least the official campus area. What is this lot? This lot's pretty boring when it's empty. We'll have to find something to store in there. It would be nice to build a little area here as well. We break out the airport aprons, get some paths going, put this thing kind of in the middle of this plot. Pipes under roads. I mean, you don't put them under every road. You put them every few roads, I assume, in a grid. If you're in a gritty area, because you don't want to waste nodes ultimately on the pipes if you don't have to. The less you can overlap them, the better, ideally. Some of them are lined up with the grid, just not necessarily with the roads. They're lined up here and there. There's some crisscross pipes. And then there's some spots. Most of the industry areas are pretty clean, it looks like. I've gotten better with my pipes over the years, but there are definitely some messy bits where I was just like, just get the water to it. I don't care. Which is apparently that coastline run right there. Spaghetti pipes for you, yeah. Man, I hope I'm not getting sick. My throat is just like not collecting water. I am drinking, but it is not feeling hydrated. Hold on. We did talk a lot today at QBRs, so hopefully that's what it was. Probably not, though. It's probably my 9-year-old bringing germs home from school. Not phasing her at all. Our water's at 100. Do we have any we can turn on over here, or are we full? Oh man, we're full. Totally did mute myself. Thank you. Yeah, I keep clearing my throat. So was I muted talking about the talking about the water then? Yes. So you can do this. Info views. You can snap water waste and intake to shallow canals. Oh, I guess you could do it to any of the canals technically. But you can bury those underwater. This one is connected to the city's power. I should have stayed on what info in this one, terrain. This one is connected into the city's power. This is redundant. We don't need this necessarily. But if you want them to be self-sustaining and you have the what the heck is this thing called? The water turbine? Advanced wind turbine? Then you can just drop that in there. Yeah, if you're hanging out and regular, please don't hesitate to @ me. It makes it a lot more obvious in my peripheral that you're trying to get my attention, especially when I mute and I'm an idiot. So don't hesitate to @ me, please. Another feature you didn't know about? No, it's just a canal. Everything is snapped to the canal. I had explained it on mute, but so yeah, I don't remember when I picked this up, but I've been doing this for quite a bit. It's much nicer than because like that's a crazy amount of sewage infrastructure, you know? You gotta have like 75,000 pumps and elementary schools. It's basically you need equal number of water pumps and elementary schools in City Skylines. So as your city scales up, it gets a little ridiculous. No. Just a little one. Just a little one. No big deal. It's no big deal. Look, they're already here. Sorry to disappoint you, but that one's not going to spread. Okay, so we cleared out at least this over here. Do we put trees back up? Do we put any businesses or uniques in here? I kind of like it. Park maintenance and the official facilities. There's a couple little restaurants on the main road here. But there's not too much, you know, and I kind of like that. Let's move the drive club back over. Now they put this road in. Is that right on the edge? That's perfect. We get the 80s rando playlist on Epidemic Sound, which is what we're hearing in the background. School PC assets for the win. So, yes, but you don't recall that the did these say 300 capacity on the default? High capacity elementary is 800. There's another one, isn't there? Oh, the Green Cities one is worse, right? And it's totally out of order. But it doesn't really matter once you endgame anyways, because Hadron Collider is superior to PC assets. Because they gave you a cheat in the game, basically. Put a shop? Wait, shop where? Where the fire is, or back in that empty void by the stadium? I just saw a helicopter fly over. No, put the fire out, man. Put the fire out.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Come on. It is the flaming ring. It's mildly appropriate. Oh, now the helicopter's gonna. Now that the fire truck's already here. Jerk face. High capacity school, I believe, was a DLC. I want to say plazas and promenades. Hold on a second. Yeah, the little icon in the bottom left is a picture of the specific DLC. In that case, that should be plazas and promenades, if I'm not mistaken. If we go into plazas and promenades, Oh, yeah. No, the pedestrian areas. It's literally the icon I'm going to check. Like, oh, let me go look at Plazas and Promenades content and see what icon it has when I literally have to go buy said icon to get to said content. Okay. All right, mouse. All right. Okay. So I did delete a bunch of big office buildings that were temporarily zoned in here when we were expanding, and I was just like, whatever, put it here. But maybe what we could do, let's look at districts. What do we have for? Yeah, I wish it was clear what's a district versus what is a school zone. Like, they all overlap each other. Also, this is not fun on. This is the one thing that I particularly hate on console is trying to paint zones. It's really bad. Because the road snapping too, like, is super annoying, and it will catch zones when you don't want it to, especially around intersections like right here. Okay. Okay, so that's all. Is that all one district all the way up here? Why do I have that? For traffic purposes, probably? Because it's Old Town? It's Old Town. Okay, so you can't drive to here unless you are going here. Oh, that would prevent people up here, though. Would it not? So we don't want to have that zone technically there. But that should still cover the buildings? Let's find out. So if we go into what? Commercial specializations, wall to wall? Oh, does that remove the buildings that I put in, or are these uniques technically? Those are uniques technically, right? Okay. Those are all uniques, I think. Right? Because do we put wall to wall on here? Right? That's what the icon on the left is? Yeah, wall to wall buildings. Okay. So we'll get some commercial in here. Is it for either density? So let's see here. When you come in, I don't think we want the shops on this road. I think we want you to go into the area to get to the shops. So let's do that. We'll do this block. And how about here? And then we'll fill in behind the stadium with trees. We don't want shops everywhere. There was no other commercial in this zone. So we're good in this district. So we're good there. We do have demand. We'll see if it moves in. It might take it a second. I don't know what incentivizes commercial move in. I know if you're having trouble moving residents in, you can just absolutely put a school down and like guaranteed that the first green square away from the school is the next one a house moves into. Doesn't wall to wall burn faster? It might. What of it? We like fire around here. I mean, they'll take whatever in Cities 1 when it comes to the high density versus low density, which is good. I found that so annoying in 2. They didn't really make it clear. Is there a tiny little piece of office right there? What is that? What the heck? What was that? Okay. But I did not like how they did. We'll just hang out here for a minute. Close enough that the lines animate in the parking lot. Because if you come back here, they start to disappear. What? Are you kidding me? We've been here 10 seconds. You jinxed it, Patton. I do love the look of these buildings. We'll see how they fill in, and maybe we'll drop a couple more in. But I think that will do a pretty good job of making this lot feel a little fuller. We could have got a pedestrian path in here first, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. They can walk down here. It's fine. Let's do a little detailing. Let's decorate these this grass plots a little bit. Why is the construction cost 0 on the trees? Is that a thing? Since when is that a thing? It's a shame about the pop-in. That's awful. Where is the, what are the U? Is the U at the end? Let's do this. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's come down and make a park fence. What is it, this one? And then what if we did... we have to turn the road guidelines off for that. Okay, perfect. They're already using that. That's fine. Just to get some foot traffic through there. It doesn't look the most amazing, but you know. It would be so awesome if they let you overlap a little bit more on these. What the heck? Can we get just one more in there, please? Just one more on a rotation? No? Okay, fine. Smaller? Is there a smaller one? Nope, there's not. Is there a totally different colored one? Dang-a-lang it. They make that so tough. They really need smaller hitboxes on those. Path of the trees on it, since you can change what trees are attached. That's true. That probably would have been a better way to do that, huh? You know what? Let's try that. Hold on a second. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Pause. Get off my dirt path, everybody. So it is, what can we use this one? The park path with trees. Not upgrade, curved. Let's see if we can do there. Nope, that was too much. I want to try and follow the same curve. So then we can come over here and grab this guy. That is a hidden feature that not a lot of people know about. And I forget about. So thank you for reminding me on that. They added that in the airports update. And you could do that to paths and roads that have trees built into them. If only we could do it to assets as well. How cool would that be if we could just like change the trees in the casino asset here? This is a casino or a park next to it, whatever. You know what I mean though? That would be really cool if we could change the bushes and the trees in the parks. Oh my God, chef's kiss. Also, Fall Trees DLC, please. If you hadn't wished it and willed it into existence in a while, please do so. Looks a little better than pre-attached benches and lights. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It'd be even better if I took the time to really line it up with the road, but like, we can always come back and do that. God, I wish you could do forest brushes. I wish you could rotate trees. All of these things would be awesome. It really there is a way in here, but it really wants to direct you down the main road, which is an industrial road. But I thought this could kind of work, right? There's no parking. It's a beat up road. Like there's these temporary cones that are up there. You can shut the road down very easily. I thought it worked really well for the sporting complex area, at least for the baseball and football, which arguably would be the biggest draw in terms of number of people there. That's a good point, Decoy. That's a good point. When Mouse says he will come back to that, it means it's done. Let's move on. It means that I will probably forget about it. That's all. The poor Sims. The humanity. Oh, they put it out. I shouldn't have jumped. Can I ride in your car, please? Uh-oh. Somebody didn't make it out of the fire. Well, technically, I guess they did make it out. All right, we got some shops in there. I like the wall. Why did nothing move in here? They not have two deep buildings on these? Yeah, of course they do. They're right here. Oh, you know what we could use with this space? Do we have fire and police over here? Do we not have a mini fire station and police station at the... Oh, we do right here. Okay. It's at the casino. Would it make more sense over here? I feel like it would make more sense where all the hooligans are enjoying the game. And does it fit perfectly? It fits perfectly on that block. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? The view from the top of the parking garage here. Or can we like get a view from the top of the stadium? That's not a battle area. That looks like a stadium. Well, technically, that looks like a stadium. But this over here looks like a stadium area. At least in the United States, there would be lots of parking. We got statues and tables and commerce and a maintenance department over in the corner of the property. Highway access. I'm okay with it. Nexus, what's up? Welcome. Do wish you could customize the buildings. The amount of times I see the exact same building right next to each other is a little immersion breaking. I would agree. We could do a tram. I don't have trams in the city yet, so we got to think carefully about what it covers and where it goes. But a campus tram would actually be kind of awesome. We can't do these. Whoa! We can't. Got scared for like half a second. We can't do trams on these roads though, can we? Which is so unfortunate because I was just saying how much I love these. But I would totally we could totally do pedestrian area tram. That's a possibility. Let's think about that. Ain't UK accurate parking? You want to see the match over here? Better have a pocket car. Ain't ever gonna find parking. Yeah, I remember the first time I ever went to Europe. Well, I would hope I remember the first time I went to Europe, but something specific from the first time that I went to Europe. My buddy was driving. It was okay. September 2000. We were just coming off, like we just came back from a couple weeks in Amsterdam. It's like a month in Europe. A couple weeks in Amsterdam, we hit Germany, Belgium, and then my buddy lived in Paris. So we were staying at his place. He had a little tiny busted ass 90s Peugeot 206. And we went out. I remember we went out to Élysée Montmartre and we saw Laurent Garnier touring his Man with a Red Face album. Yuri Hulkinen opened up for him. Oh my God, what an amazing concert. What an amazing venue, like old 1700s French theater up on the hill. Just amazing night. And it was Techno Parade week. Like there was a lot going on, but we went out drinking one night. And my buddy's like, oh, we got to check out this place later in the week. Like this little like after hours club. So it might have been the night that we saw. It might have been the night that we saw Laurent Garnier, but we went to this like after hours club afterwards, and we're like on the other side of the city. We got his Peugeot 206, and we get out back to the car, and we are just like boxed in front and back. I've never seen like cars parked literally bumper to bumper pressed into each other, and I was like, "What the hell, man? Like how like." What is this? Like, you're never going to get out of here. Are we stuck? Like, we'll leave the car? And he's like, what do you mean? No, this is totally fine. This happens all the time. And I'm like, what do you mean this happens all the time? Do your wheels go sideways? You can't get out of here. He's like, just hop in. Don't worry about it. And he pulls the e-brake up. He just full throttles his Peugeot 206, drops the e-brake, and just reverses like full strength into the car behind him to pop it into first to drive full strength into the car in front of him. And he just slammed both cars like, I don't know, 30, 40 times until he could finally pull out. And like people were walking by. It's like 2 a.m. and like nobody thought anything of it. It was just totally normal. And you guys need parking lots. Welcome, you need to welcome car culture. You need to tear your cities in half for highways, get bigger cars that consume as much gas as possible, and then fight a few wars so that you can get cheap gas like us. And then you complain about it anyways, like you have expensive gas because you're American and you don't understand what liters are. So you don't realize how expensive gas is everywhere else in the world that hasn't invaded sovereign nations to get a discount. But anyways, that's the path that you could take and your people by inviting car culture and parking lots into your civilization. It's totally worth it. And only a few million dinosaurs had to die for it. Adia, what's going on? Hello. Parking lots with the tolls going in, that would be pretty cool. I think they added that in 2, right? 2, you can do that. 2, parking is a paid mechanic, but it's also almost a nuisance. It's not decorative. It's like you actually have to consider businesses will crash if you don't provide adequate parking. If you want to drive over here, you got to drive in a ditch to give way to a lorry. It'll be able to squeeze into a spot half your car's size. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, man. It's so different. It's wild. It's eye-opening, you know, the first time you experience that in person. Like the first time a European sees an American size serving at a plate in a restaurant. What the hell do you want me to do with all this? Become obese. Welcome to diabetes. I like those assets, the department store and something else. I've got those turned on the other side of town. Driven here so long, seeing US roads actually scares me because they're huge. They're cruising lanes. How else are you going to fit your 3-row SUV that you need a commercial driver's license for? So you can get the kid to soccer practice. Can't do that on tiny roads. Need lots of pavement. Seriously though, the car culture in the United States is remarkable. Like, we literally tore cities in half in the 1950s to run highways through them. Like, look at the beltway around Paris. Like, they put a highway around Paris, and you're thinking like, oh my god, there's so much traffic on that beltway. It's terrible. Why would you use that? Like, look at the highways in the U.S. It's not traffic immune. I used to spend 4 hours a day in the car getting to and from work. 2 hours there, 2 hours back. It's insane. And Boston traffic is not great. But I'm not taking mass transit. America. What is that empty lot? Where is that empty lot? I should have left the camera on it for a minute. I feel like it's over here somewhere. Oh, well, oh, it's right there. It's right there. What was here? I must have deleted a unique building? Sorry, someone was saying earlier, and I think I started to respond to it, or I read it and I didn't like think it through. But yes, repeated buildings are annoying. Sometimes they can happen a lot. I'll tell you one building that I love that I see. Actually, let me ask you, chat. What is a city skyline building, not a workshop thing, any building that you see that you love, but you see way too much of? Do you have one of those that comes to mind? Because I'm going to show you mine in a second. I absolutely love the building. It's got a great vibe. But there'll be 17 of them on a block. And it gets annoying. But I'm wondering, like, if there's an asset that you can think of that is like that for you. I have dread every time I use that tool to empty a cemetery, and I look down afterwards like, was I on collapse? Oh my god, I was on collapse. Okay. But if you wait like 10 seconds and nothing happens, usually you can wait another 10 seconds and you hear, a meteor is heading for the city. Okay, cemetery is empty. Desecration. Healthcare, death care. Do we have any other thing complaining? No. This is a fine complaint. Some people may wonder, like, Mouse, like, what's going on with your industry area? It's made the stuff. It just needs a place to put the petroleum. This is the best problem to have in your supply chain. You've got all the goods that you need for down chain to fill your warehouses, to fill your factories, to make more goods, to sell those goods. So the production facilities being full is absolutely not a problem. It's full of oil. It's waiting to make more plastics as soon as it gets emptied. That is a great spot to be in. Don't have a favorite, but the one building I hate seeing is that stupid commercial laundromat, because my game constantly spawns them. Yes, so I feel like that might be a glitch. I like the laundromat. That was, I want to say, King Leno's University City DLC. Do you have that? I think that's what it came with. There's the laundromat, and there's another one, like the Five Guys burger, whatever the heck it is, Fry Guys. I forget what they call it in game. One of my favorite buildings in the whole game. I love it. I love it so much. Do I have one on my main street? I've historical most of these buildings. Here we go. Okay. I love the Art Deco cinema so much. It is so cool. And there's another one across the street. And there's another one around the corner. I mean, they're different colors. This one's got a red tint, that one's got a pink tint. Or purple? I don't know. Does anyone know the movies that are playing? The City Skylines 2 banners. I've been deleting those buildings every time I see them out of principle. Advertise CS2, like seriously, devs? Yeah, they honestly, like, that should have been pulled out of the update on console 2 years later, and they are still like, don't you want to play this? So now showing Chirpzilla. Apparently it's only one theater because the movies play every 2 hours. Can I not get run over, please? Chirpzilla, Paradoxal Perspective, Colossal Cranium, and Shroomville. Not sure about the last one. I don't know what reference that is, but I love the Chirp Cinema. I love the Art Deco cinema. It's an awesome style, but it's one of those buildings that, like, once you see it, you know what it is? And I don't know if this is a trend that happens. I'm assuming it does in other parts of the world. You only have so many cars out there, but like, whatever car you're driving, you will start to notice more of on the road. And it's like, oh, that building's really cool. I love it. And it's like, all you can see is every instance of it now. Whereas, like, there's lots of instances of this specific house, but it's not standing out at me when I quickly pan through. The McMansion stands out to me. That's just ridiculous. That roof must be so expensive. So easy to crack those. Okay. So how are we doing over here? Doing all right. Not sure of Paradoxical Perspective. Yeah, one of those is a documentary of the city's release. Seen NPC say going home to play City Skylines 2? Like, brah. All the DLC, so yeah. That's how we know they don't care about console? No, you know how you know they don't care about console? That's how you know. The countdown clock that has been an advertisement. I was gonna ask Flyvox if he knew Christmas Story. Do people watching know Christmas Story, the movie? I would hope that you do. It plays like nonstop on TBS all Christmas. Maybe it is not in other parts of the world. It is an American Christmas movie from the 1980s about a family and their Christmas from the 1950s. And I feel a little bit like this is kind of a scene from that movie. If you've seen Christmas Story, you'll know what I'm talking about in a second. So the kid is listening to this radio show, this old radio show in the 50s called Little Orphan Annie. And they would do these secret decoder ring messages. And you would need a copy of the ring so you could set the ring on one side to a number and the ring on the other side to the letter. And they would read these secret messages at the end of the radio show, and you could help Little Orphan Annie fight the pirates. Anyways, the kid orders the ring in the mail, and he's so excited about it. So excited, like he doesn't even care about the show. Like, shut up about the show. I don't care about Little Orphan Annie and the pirates. I want to do the decoder ring. I want the secret message. And he decodes the secret message. He runs upstairs, and there's this tense music, and he's quick. Oh, what is this a message? It's so important that I decode it. And it's an ad for Ovaltine. Remember to drink your Ovaltine. And he's just so dejected and disappointed. And I just think of that here, like, we have this countdown clock sitting in the console version of the game for 2 years. And it takes, actually, does it still take you? Does the webpage still work? It takes you to a webpage like buy City Skylines on PC. Screw you. Yes, the webpage still works. Buy now. City Skylines, Steam, Microsoft, Xbox Game Pass button. Oh, let me hit that and go get City Skylines 2. Oh, PC edition. Technically, it is on Xbox Game Pass. Screw off with that. Get out of here. The official Accolades trailer. Go watch that thing. So if you go to this link on the QR code and scroll down a little bit, there's the official Accolades trailer. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. No. Hold on a second. Can I just wait? Hold on. Can I open this in YouTube? Yeah, I can. Then I can just get it out of my history. Okay. YouTube. Where is? Hold on a second. I'll get it. I'll get it over here. You gotta give me a minute. History. Okay. I'm not gonna play the music. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with their claims. This. Okay, there we go. Let's do that. So if I bring this over here and full screen it and then turn on the this is not going to work, is it? No, it's not. Hold on. Okay, Cat, I'll be right back. No, Will Smith, go get out of here, Will Smith. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Window capture. Window capture. There we go. Is this song cleared? I'm just gonna play my music. Whatever. This is the Accolades trailer. This is the thing that they released. Like, oh, this is what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying such great things about the game. When was this released? October 24th, release day. Hey, the game's coming out today. Don't pay attention to what Move the Mouse said about being an absolute dog pile of code back on the 19th when the embargo lifted. Listen to these outlets. This is unquestionably the best city builder I've ever played. From JV Mag. Anybody, no judgment. Raise your hand in chat if you've ever heard of JV Mag. This is unquestionably the best city builder I've ever played. ... Also, this is the only city builder I've ever played. 8 out of 10 from JV Mag. Best city builder you've ever played is an 8 out of 10? Okay. Exactly. Who dat? Okay, let's keep this going. Raises the bar for the city building genre and clobbers it over the head and buries it in the ground. Noisy Pixel. Again, no offense if you are a Noisy Pixel fan and you get your gaming news from there. Like, but what? Where's the IGN review? An extremely deep and content-rich city simulator. Game Rant I've heard of, but like 4 out of 5 out of 5. An extremely deep and content-rich city simulator at launch? What game were you playing, dude? It was a different game because my copy was not so content-rich. A fantastic city builder from God is a Geek. Game Rant's the only one I've heard of so far. A fantastic city builder, God is a Geek. An excellent sequel. Okay, come on. Now I gotta frame by frame because you're gonna show them so fast. I can't even read them out loud in the time. An excellent sequel. VG 24/7. I'm pretty sure I've read articles from VG 24/7 in my gaming news feed in my RSS reader app. Like, here's breaking stories from all over the place. Here's one from VG 24/7. I'm sure I've seen them, but I would never go there and think like, oh, I'm gonna go see what VG 24/7 says. You're searching these people. I love it. Ladies gamers, Incredible visuals and immaculate detailing. Video Gamer, 8 out of 10. Is there an outlet called Video Gamer, or did they just ask a random video gamer? Incredible visuals and immaculate detailing in a game that dude reviewed that didn't have any detailing because it was hidden behind the dev menu at the time. Teddy Radko made a video on it. Like, no, it did not have immaculate detailing. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, look in the background. That looks awesome. That looks awesome because of $2.20, not because of the game. I mean, a tiny little bit of it is the game, but it's $2.20 flexing it. Will define the genre for years to come. Unfortunately, that one might be true. It's just defined it as kind of a laughingstock, and one that got the original devs fired. Who is this? Video games for the video game section of Sports Illustrated gives it an 8.5. Dude, I don't even, as someone who grew up, I was born in 78. I grew up in the 80s. Like, Sports Illustrated was very much a thing. Like, I don't even go to Sports Illustrated for sports in 2025. Why would I go there for video games? Nerd Stash, 8 out of 10. A tremendous game full of hours of fun. Unfortunately for you, it's like 2 hours and maybe 15 minutes, so it's just past your return window on Steam. Oh yeah, I know about the frame controls. Yeah. You can go like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, JKLs, you could use the brackets. Or not the brackets, but greater than less thans. Pixel Magazine, a must-have for any city building simulator enthusiast, as long as you don't have a console. The city builder we've been waiting for. 9 out of 10, multiplayer.it. Okay. You got brand new road tools? Did you see how they connected that road? That's not $2.20. That right there. Look at the first bend coming off the highway on the top of the screen. That suddenly veers off to then almost take a subtle curve to a straight road to another sharp corner just to get over this highway it's trying to cross. That's in the trailer. That's in the release trailer. A full-ranged update based on its predecessor. You know what? Forget the number for a minute. I think that's a great way to describe this. An update based on the predecessor. But it is not a sequel. 8.9 out of 10 from 3DM. Ollie213. I'm sorry, kids, earmuffs. Who the fuck is Ollie213? What? Okay. 8.2 out of 10. PC Guru. Serial Killers. Dual Shockers. But why, though? And The Gamer. All outlets that I'm running to for my reviews. Game Rant, again, top right. I think it's the only one that I've ever regularly been to. 3DM, Multiplayer IT, we've read all these. These are all the scores that you already saw on the screen. Like, wow, what an amazing game. Look at these scores from all these reputable outlets. Okay, hold on a second. Hang on a second. Metacritic. Let's go have some fun. Well, let's see, first of all, what is the first City Skylines on Metacritic? 85 on Metacritic. City Skylines 2 is a 74. That's the critic score, though, right? Okay, so City Skylines The original City Skylines is an 85, generally favorable user score of an 8.6. That's great. What's the user score on 2? That makes a lot of sense. So we're at a 74 from just the critic reviews alone. The critics overall not so glowing as the accolades trailer might have you believe. Tech Radar Gaming with a 100? It's a perfect game. There's nothing wrong with it. It couldn't be any better. CS2 has lofty ambitions. Several interlocking systems come together to convince you this isn't just a city building game, but a way to build lively neighborhoods full of small stories and intertwining threads. This person was on mescaline when they played this game. There's a lot to love here, and if you fall for it, you'll be hooked for a long time. Mescaline. Overall, City Skylines 2 is a worthy successor to the long-standing original city builder. No, you two have just discredited yourself. Noisy Pixel. Okay, these are all the outlets that we saw, but now we get to see longer quotes. I guess we could read more. There's full reviews if we I kind of want to read that 100% review. Just stunned that perfectly. A great experience unless you're on console. Yeah, exactly. I've been high before, but never that high. A 100. Okay, let's just go review the 100. Okay. Hold on a second. Wait. I need different music for this one. Hold on a second. I need music, new tab. What is appropriate? What is appropriate music? Hold on. For reading this review. Maybe this? Let's see how this is. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay. Tech Radar. City Sky. Hold on a second. Let me hydrate and prepare, and we're gonna read this. Not even like an updated review. No, this is original. We're looking at why this guy gave Cities a 100. Cities 2 a 100. Tech Radar verdict. Literally, like, that means perfect game. It could not be any better. Tech Radar verdict, 5 stars, a 100. I guess it might be better as a 5-star rating. City Skylines 2 has lofty ambitions. Technically, if it was a 5-star rating, I would agree with it if that scale was 5 out of 100. City Skylines 2 has lofty ambitions. Several interlocking systems come together to convince you this isn't just a city building game, but a way to build lively neighborhoods full of small stories and intertwining threads. There's lots to love here, and if you fall for it, you'll be hooked for a long time. Pros: UI is easy to navigate, beginner-friendly, and detail-oriented. Cons: small graphical issues. The mean social posts make me sad. I don't know, like, I don't mean to be that guy, but this actually, I feel like, tells me a lot about like a spider that just dropped down from the ceiling right in front of me. It is dead. The mean social posts make me sad. This tells me a lot about the reviewer, I feel like. And I'm not, like, I'm very much for accessibility and openness and inclusion, but you're getting mad about virtual tweets that the devs wrote. You should have read the real tweets that released, dude. Holy fuck. City Skylines 2 is the perfect stepping stone for those seeking world domination. There's so many fucking ads. I gotta use a blocker. City Skylines 2 is the perfect stepping stone for those seeking world domination via industrialization, or those who simply want to explore and enjoy a fantastic city building simulator. My God, Tech Radar. Usually my biggest gripe with city building sims, I don't browse the web, so I don't deal with pop-ups. Usually my biggest gripe with city building sims is that they can be too realistic. This may sound counterintuitive, as some will enjoy the hardship, but for me, it turns what should be an engaging and fascinating experience of creating a working metropolis into something that feels like homework, with a little cholera in the pipes sprinkled in for good measure. Thankfully, this frustration is not the case in City Skylines 2. While the 2015 predecessor had a relatively steep learning curve, the sequel is intuitive and easy to pick up. You are an idiot, sir. This is largely thanks to the fantastic UI. I don't know if you can tell when I'm transitioning from reading the article to commenting on it, but which helps explain every inch of the city building to the players seamlessly. The fantastic UI helps explain every inch of city building to the players seamlessly, except for the absolutely broken simulation and all the problems it had at launch. Jesus. AI couldn't write this. AI wasn't this stupid in 2023. We had to work towards that. Did everybody see the Grok Elon stuff where it was like for one afternoon it was programmed somehow in the back end that Elon was the best in the world at everything, and it didn't matter what you asked it. People were asking like, what about a pee drinking competition? Who would win that? Like Elon's a better basketball player than LeBron. If you could only save one person in the world, we should save Elon, no matter the circumstances. Like, it's ridiculous. That's where AI has gotten. Where was I here? This means that players are free to enjoy all the new cities in City Skylines 2, all the new features in City Skylines 2, without worrying too much about the finer details. Those you can pay for later. Now you can build towering skyscrapers or bustling commercial districts without worrying about how each building will be connected to sewage, water, and electricity, as roads automatically link buildings to these utilities. Kind of a cool quality of life update. This freedom means that you can really focus on the bigger picture in cities. At first, there's a lot of joy in fine-tuning your small village with enough houses and shops to keep the cogs turning. However, as your town begins to grow, so do your ambitions. Suddenly, trade moves up your priority list, and you'll start being interested in things like industrial actions and public services. Dude, were you paying attention to the game when you wrote all this? What appealed to me in City Skylines 2 was the original city building rather than the management. What? What appealed to me in City Skylines 2 was originally the city building rather than the management. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought he was going a totally different direction. Usually I put up with the upkeep to simply finance the growth and design my dream city, but this time it's different. I find myself painstakingly tweaking service budgets, managing trade, and shifting taxes. Also, everything works just right so that it doesn't collapse. You forgot that it collapses and breaks if you don't do that. Providing enough money to, okay, this is not the kind of funny song that we need. We were on shuffle. How about this? Nope. Yep, okay, perfect. I found myself painstakingly tweaking service budgets, managing trade, and shifting taxes. Also, everything works just right, providing enough money to upgrade services while keeping taxes fair. I never thought I could have so much fun managing trade budgets, but here it's more compelling enough to keep me invested. The main reason I could have so much fun fine-tuning these tiny details is all thanks to the brilliant UI, which makes tweaking services feel like second nature. It also helps that some brilliant charts can relay a large amount of information and quickly and simply. With this at your fingertips, you can keep track of all the budgets, taxes, exports, imports in the blink of an eye. Currently, I'm focusing on trading wood, electricity, minerals, but recently my software and finance industries have boomed. This is a city builder. This is City Builder, by the way. Meaning that I'm slowly shifting my city's future from industrial to technology-minded. Remember when this guy liked the building part of the game? The detailed services our trading features don't just make the process of city building seem more realistic as the outside world plays a role in your experience, but they also give you something to do when you want to take a break from creating suburbs or financial districts. It bolsters our City Skylines 2 and is one of my favorite features. Apart from the beautiful, this is ridiculous. He gave it a 5 out of 5. Perfect game. What? Each citizen has a name, an occupation, and most likely a family. And don't forget the 32 teeth that they're rendering from 18 miles in orbit. This means you can drop in thousands of houses or apartments and check on your age, education, and crucially, well-being of each dweller. You can even see which households have a pet, which is a small but sweet addition. The information available, weren't the dogs like homeless at first, just wandering the city? The information available to players is yet another example of the high level of detail in City Skylines 2. If you want to be involved in the lives of your residents, you can check, okay, what? Does he not mention like the fact that the developer and publisher said it wasn't ready? Okay, unfortunately it's not all smooth sailing. Okay, we done being sycophantic here? Okay. Unfortunately it's not all smooth sailing. During my time in City Skylines 2, wait, first of all, take this phrase in isolation. That does not deserve a perfect score. The second half of the article is about the things you didn't like. Okay, or at least a paragraph or two. During my time playing City Skylines 2, I did encounter a couple of bugs and graphical issues. If I had the graphics set on high, the second highest option, the ability to move around the map and zoom in and out was considerably slowed, with it buffering most of the time. Please tell me in this article you explain how we reviewed. With a 3070 Ti. Okay, so you are under spec. You are under spec at release, right? Wasn't a 3080? Or no, I had a video card. I was under spec on the CPU. Maybe this is okay. I take it back. They haven't changed the requirements, have they? That's probably 3060 maybe. There were some instances where characters would phase through buildings or cars. That's nothing. One such moment involved me looking on in horror as a moose glided through traffic and walked straight into one of the terraced houses. It never left, and to this day, I still fear for the family inside. Well, this was pretty funny. It did take me out of the realistic experience slightly. However, none of these bugs impacted my experience in City Skylines 2 to any detriment. And they certainly don't take away from what the game achieves. It's also important to note that Paradox Interactive has admitted to these faults and promised that if they aren't fixed on launch, they'll be soon after! Laughs in November 2025. Oh my God. Oh my God. Buckle up, it'll be a bumpy ride. This is the article, this is a few days before. Interactive claims the game won't run well at launch. 5 out of 5, same outlet. You gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me with that kind of, how can you in good conscience publish this article and then less than a week later give it a 5 out of 5 perfect score sitting at the top of Metacritic? My God. But why though? 90%. What do we want to read? 90% noisy pixel, checkpoint gaming, multiplayer IT, dual shockers, screen rant, 87 from NPR, Gamer Sky, God is a Geek, every IIT. Notice that the ones at the top of the list are ones that we generally haven't heard of. Game Pressure, Power Unlimited, CD Action, Game Reactor, Video Gamer, Shack News, VG247, The Gamer, GG Recon. How many of these do you recognize? Let's do something different. Let's scroll to the bottom of the scoreboard and see if we recognize any outlets down here. Okay, these are not, okay. So here's where we actually have scores. Gameblog.fr with a 40. Games Radar with a 40. Here we go. Outlets we recognize. Game Critics with a 60. Eurogamer Germany with a 60. PC Games with a 60. IGN with a 60. Okay. Who else do we recognize? Still though, the outlets that we recognize, Game Rant with a 70. Wait. What? Hey Google, what's 4.5 divided by 5? Yeah, that's a 90. What? What? I am so confused. Game Rant 4.5 out of 5, which is a 9. Game Rant 70. When is this published? October 19th! You lied in your accolades trailer, you shitbags! I wonder why my throat hurts. Come on. Game Rant gave us a 4.5. Check the score. It's a 70. Like, come on. Well, I don't understand. I don't have a filter that does noise reduction. I try and have a quiet room. I do have not a noise gate. I do have a set, but I don't have anything that like should filter out those sounds anymore. Used to. If like somebody else is making that through Discord will filter that out. My daughter gets filtered out all the time. She screams so loud when we're playing Minecraft. And like I will hear her upstairs, but not through the headset because the Xbox was like, I am filtering out this non-human sound. Oh my god. Okay. Cinematic camera. I don't need to be on the Game Rant page, right? Is everyone okay if I read I'm sorry, my mind is spinning a little bit because that is kind of scandalous. How does the official accolades trailer that came out on October 24th say that Game Rant gave a 4.5 out of 5, which is a 90, when Game Rant published a review? Is this review changed? Hold on a second. Published October... Seven out of 10. What? They lied. They just straight up lied in their accolades trailer that still is up and exists to this day and is the trailer you can see on Steam. And you're like, oh, I don't recognize any of these outlets, but oh, okay, Game Rant gave it a 90. That's a green score. That must be a good game. No, they didn't. I wonder if scores went down after. So that's why I was just looking at the article, Kanga, and like it is published on October 19th. I don't know if it went down, but usually you would see like a note of an update in here, and the score is posted here as of October, released October, 7 out of 10. It doesn't say anything, at least clearly, about an update to the article. Okay, so I'm gonna read the Game Rant review that's a 70 that they claimed was a 90. Those lying sacks of crap. This is new information to me. I did not know about this until just now, until I decided to go read Metacritic reviews of the cities 2 years after it came out. That's wild. That's wild. That's so cheesy and lame that like you have all these crap outlets giving you high scores. And like, of course, those are the scores you're going to put up at the top. But it's so funny to me to scroll to the bottom of the scoreboard and then recognize all the outlets. And then find out that the one outlet I recognize, they lied about the score. Are any of these other ones true? I know some of them lined up because like Noisy Pixel was at the top with a 90. That one was right. 90 from Y though. But they don't technically, but Y though had a thumbs up scale. Technically. Wasn't it? Or that was the ladies, the ladies review. Ladies gamers or whatever. Yeah, Paradox lied okay, maybe there was a miscommunication and they said, hey, we're going to give it a 4.5. Although, actually, that doesn't make any sense. Hold on a second. How does that make any sense? Have they changed their score system over time? Because they scale on a score of 10. Did they update the review? Was it a 4.5 out of 10? Like what? I don't understand it. This is Game Rant, 7 out of 10. This is Game Rant on Metacritic, 70. 4.5. No. Maybe that used to be the old scale, but if it was, wouldn't they convert it and then wouldn't it be a 9? You'd think. 4.5 out of 10, exactly. Someone, just change it to a 5. I believe that. I believe that with all the other stuff that happened. Okay, so here, random cities footage with the Game Rant review of a score of 7 out of 10. City Skylines 2 review by Max Borman, published October 19th, 2023. After years of post-launch support for City Skylines, Colossal Order has returned to deliver the hotly anticipated sequel, City Skylines 2. The game seems to have taken some of the best aspects of that original title to new heights, which has helped create one of the deepest city simulators on the market. But while that may all sound great, it also comes bundled in a deeply flawed package that may not be exactly what fans were expecting. City Skylines 2 has immensely improved upon the city simulation of the original to deliver an exciting city builder that the genre fans will surely love. It has all the makings of another genre kingpin, but it may also be held back a bit by some of the rougher edges. Some fans may be overlook some of the shortcomings since it really delivers on the city simulation concept. However, others may have a hard time prying themselves away from that original game right away. Right, wait, no, you didn't do that. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna read this again so that you can see the transition from this paragraph to another paragraph. Others may have had a hard time prying themselves away from that original game right away. Next paragraph starts, right away, fans will notice. Like, where's your editor? You're ending a paragraph with right away and then starting the next paragraph with also right away. Right away fans will likely notice the use of right away. Right away fans will likely notice that Colossal Order is rectifying one of City Skylines' biggest flaws with the sequel. The city size has been increased dramatically, which should give players immense freedom to construct the city of their dreams. Breaking out of the article here. Did anyone fall for the, hey, we've got 400 tiles on a map now? And I'm sure that it's okay to admit that, like, oh my God, 400 tiles, the maps are going to be huge. That's not, your brain doesn't go right away to, they must be lying about the size of the tiles. They shrunk the size of the tiles, right, to do that? Well, no, they're telling, no, we have 400 tiles now. And again, you would think that is to give you an idea of how immense it is because of the size of the old tiles. But that doesn't mean anything. Like, you need to say like how much of a percentage increase it is in square area. Not, we've got more tiles. Hey, cut that pizza into 8,000 slices. Good news, I got you a bunch of pizza slices. Bad news, it's still the same size the pizza was before, but it's less convenient to eat. Won't even play it for free on Game Pass. Okay, sorry, back to the article. Quote, now players can purchase hundreds of new tiles to expand their city in interesting and unique ways. While these tiles may be smaller than the expansions of the original game, the sheer number of purchasable plots makes up for that. It doesn't, though. This helps make City Skylines 2 a worthy sequel to the original, which may be even better by many of the other additions to that iconic game's formula. City Skylines 2 is offering a far deeper simulation than the original game, which is great to see. Even though City Skylines was great, the sequel has taken city realism to new heights. Players have to deal with traffic accidents, a more fluid economy, new types of zoning that can give cities whole new feels, realistic citizens with refined aging mechanics, and are given the ability to micromanage even more things. All of this lends to a much stronger city builder than genre fans may not soon forget. City Skylines 2 has also changed the way that many of the city service buildings work. It seems to be taking cues from SimCity 2013 by giving players the ability to modularly upgrade these services. Hospitals can have more wards and helipad added. Police stations get more jail cells. Universities can be upgraded with more classrooms, and the landfill can be improved with all sorts of add-ons. That add-on is more trash, by the way. I do appreciate that kind of modular aspect where you can upgrade the buildings by snapping little things on and deciding if it goes over here or over there. What I didn't really appreciate about base game Cities 2 is that you couldn't make a realistic small town because your school was going to be 4 stories and 1.5 miles wide. Doesn't matter. Like, want to build a small town? This is your school. Want to build a giant town? This is your school. It's the same school. Okay, back to the article. This upgrade mechanic was one of the best parts of SimCity, so it's really cool to see it crop up here. They all go a long way into giving the buildings much more functionality while giving players more to evolve their city as it grows in size. Is this music too much? Give me something stupid. Nope. Growing a city in City Skylines 2 is obviously the main goal of the game, but fans of the original may not know what to expect here. Instead of basing the milestones around population size, City Skylines 2 is built off of an XP system. This system rewards players for various things, including population size, happiness, and placing down certain buildings. You could also delete those buildings and place them again and again and again and again and just get max level everything unlocked in, like, I don't know, 10 minutes? I think Toady did it. It was the first one to do it in like 10 minutes. Totally stupid system, pointless. Once they earn enough XP, they will reach the next milestone and unlock new toys to play with. While this new XP system might be jarring at first, I think it still is 2 years later, it actually feels a bit nicer than the population-based progression system of the last game. Earning milestones works differently here, and so the actual unlocks that players get. They are still granted loan increases, money, some city services, various new mechanics, and district policies at each milestone. However, the majority of City Skylines 2 buildings are now unlocked via new development trees. Players are given points when they hit each milestone that they can use in the development trees to unlock upgrade buildings, core services of the city. There are multiple trees with each tree. There are multiple trees with each tree? Featuring multiple tiers of rewards, which let players prioritize the services they want to upgrade with their city. Man, how long is this article? It's a 7 out of 10. Pros: increased city size. City service can be changed modularly. XP system is a nice change, more overall depth. Cons: milestones are less impactful. Missing content that was added to Cities 1. Yes, very much. Okay, what are the complaints here? Well, these new developments, actual milestones seem to have suffered because of it. Once players hit milestone 10, they should not expect any more fun unlocks for the next 10 milestones. Instead, all they do is get points they can spend on the development tree and cash influx. In City Skylines, it felt like each milestone mattered since players would unlock new policies and buildings constantly. Now the unlock system has changed drastically, which may hurt some players' enjoyment of earning milestones. That is a big part for me of what makes the game a lot less fun. It's slow. It seems so slow to grow your city. The simulation is slow because it's more intensive and upgraded, and it's hitting CPUs harder. And it just wasn't as fun to play, and I think the progression system had a big part to do with that for me. I like the old system just fine. It would vary the size of the populations based on the map size. Like that's totally great. I'm okay with that. You should not have to build a 100,000 person city on the archipelago to upgrade it. The tiny little islands, like, no. Okay, back to the article. This is again Game Rant, who at release gave City Skylines a 7 out of 10, even though on the accolades trailer on the City Skylines official channel, they claim it got a 4.5 out of 5, which would be a 9 out of 10. And we cannot find another article, we cannot find another review. If you just tuned in, as far as I can tell. This is news to me, but City Skylines straight up lied on their release trailer saying Game Rant gave them a better score than they did. So that's why we're reading this one. Okay. Additionally, City Skylines 2 seems to be missing a lot of the content that the original got via DLC. There are no elements of packs like Snowfall. Technically, there was snow, but it was trash. After Dark, they had taxis and nighttime, so I don't know what you're talking about, dude. And natural disasters. Natural disasters are in the game, so this is a particularly poor criticism. At least how it is worded. I agree with the first half of the sentiment that a lot of the stuff that we paid hundreds of dollars for in DLC was getting pulled out of the game. And I understand people's complaint like, oh, what, you just want it all for free again? Well, no, but I did give this developer $400 for them to rip apart and sell me the same features again? What exactly are you white knighting for? Shut up. One of the biggest things in City Skylines is the missing freeform area tool that was introduced with City Skylines Park Life DLC. That tool let players construct their own custom parks to fill the gaps of their city. Absolutely. Think about what Industries and Park Life and Campus did for cities and gave you all this freeform placement of all these objects. And you can build your own little micro mini game, you know, your own little management area where you're managing the campus or the industry or the park, whether it's just a straight up city park or amusement or whatever it might be. And now you go to City Skylines 2 and it's like, okay, you can put a school here and you can attach a building that is like magnetically linked to it. That's your freedom. And then that's it. They got rid of all that other stuff. And that definitely felt like a detailing downgrade so much. And it was such a popular addition. This is back to the park tool. Now I'm reading the article again. That Colossal Order carried it over more types of buildings through other DLC packs. Right now, players can construct their own custom parks, industries, college campuses, and airports in City Skylines. This is something City Skylines 2 has left out. Very much, I'm sure, in an attempt to sell you all those things again. Like, oh, we don't have to think too hard about the DLC, just do the same DLC again. Which seems like, and back to the article, which seems like a strange omission after the studios spent so much time developing the mechanic over the years. Again, more criticism from the Game Rant article. On top of that, districts in City Skylines 2 feel far more limited than they did in the original game. Districts are a new way to split up and specialize cities with various policies and aesthetics. Is that? I don't think that is spelled correctly. While this feature still exists within the game, is this a European thing? Is it a different? I don't know. Is Game Rant in Europe? While this feature still exists within the game, these districts can no longer be painted onto the city, but instead they must be rectangular in shape. I don't even remember that. Oh, you drawing a box around it? Maybe I do remember that. These districts can no longer be painted in the city, but instead they're rectangular in shape. They also seem to be fewer district policies, which means that players do not have much control over the areas they once did. Additionally, it's not often clear what policies players have in what districts, as the UI no longer displays it unless players click into the district itself. What else did they criticize? Besides the content, one of the other things holding it back is the presentation. Original game was never the best looking, but it did feel brighter and had more character. Agreed. The new game is so gray. Like, look at that right there. There's a stadium and industrial road and parking lots and pavement, and it's still more colorful than City Skylines 2. In the little bits of color that are in the buildings. They made it so drab. Make cities. Basically, it's the mission to make cities 2 as realistic as possible. Left that behind. That art style, basically, is what they are saying in the article. Game just looks dull, with the buildings mostly being different shades of gray. Little edge of map fog there. The terrain itself looks like the green plates rather than actual fields of grass, which does not really change on higher graphic settings. While these graphics are not a deal breaker, some players may find the art style a bit bland compared to other city builders on the market. I would agree. Even with some of the shortcomings, it delivers an extremely deep and content-rich simulator that genre fans will definitely want to check out. Remind fans why Colossal Order is a perfect studio to lead urban city building genre after the failings of the SimCity franchise. Man, if you had a time machine, dude, you could see 2 years into the future. However, it's hard to look past the fact that the game is launching with less content the original game has, Couple that with the limitations of districts, lack of custom building tools that players love in the original, and the game feels a bit held back at launch. Much of this may be fixed with post-launch updates, but right now it feels like a pretty glaring omission. End of Game Rant article, 7 out of 10. But if you ask City Skylines, they got a 4.5 out of 10. Nice work, Cities. Hey, good job. Good job, team. You did it. You did it. You lied. That's just trash. Absolute trash. Take that literal lying trailer down with all the outlets that nobody's heard of except the one that you lied about the score. Unbelievable. I guess not that surprising in the grand scheme. Like, with all the crap that was going on, like, who would have had it? Do I take a copyright claim and do just watch the IGN review? I guarantee I'm going to get claimed for it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Is there a written IGN review? There is. Okay. 60, by the way. 60. An ambitious sequel, but basic mechanics can't keep up with everything it wanted to do. Don't start playing this. Do not start playing this. It's a 6. It's okay. City Skylines 2 is an ambitious sequel that might have bitten off more than it can chew. Be prepared for a lot of terraforming if you don't want your metropolis to look like a nightmare. So true. All right, I'm not gonna get into that. It's so great though that, like, when you go to the Metacritic, you don't recognize anybody at the top, and then when you scroll all the crappy scores at the bottom, those are all the outlets that you recognize. Oh, you can filter based on PlayStation and Xbox reviews. There aren't any yet. Unbelievable junk. Okay, sorry everybody. That was a distraction. Running and rambling on Cities 2 reviews. I did go back and watch some release reviews recently to kind of see and remind myself of the general discourse. I am putting together a documentary on what will probably be Colossal Order Cities time frame. So Cities in Motion 1 and 2, Cities 1, the console releases, Cities 2, up till the firing, up till the end of 2025, basically. That's the documentary I want to do. And then maybe in 2 to 5 years, there'll be another documentary on how City Skylines 2 became No Man's Sky. A big breakout video. Stay tuned. You watch. Or I'm just gonna post a video in 2 years with like a steaming poop emoji. Like, nope, it's still crap. I have a feeling it's that second video is the one that we'll be posting in a couple years. On Xbox console, there are loads of reviews and all of them are still waiting and no update. Or paid for pre-order and still nothing? Is the game on the store? Is it where? Not currently available. Continue shopping. 40. It's got a 2-star. What trailer do they link? All footage captured in-game. It's not an ugly game by any means. But you need to literally be a professional city builder to make it look this good with a 4090 and 128 gigs of RAM. I think Biff was running 128. I don't know what $2.20 was running. I remember that though, like me having issues and being like, man, I'm having tons of performance problems, and someone saying like, I'm fine, I have a 4090 and 128 gigs of RAM. Then shut up! No one's talking to you! Traffic wasn't a problem today on my commute in my private helicopter. Unbelievable. You make cities. Oh, bo 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 bo. Okay. New Dollarton. Imagine if there was a city building game that looked like that on console. Because that's what they wanted us to believe 2 years ago. RAM got super expensive. Yeah, you are right. I saw, what did I see? I saw somebody report there was like 100. I have, what do I have? Do I have 64 or 128 gig right now? I think I saw my 64 gig kit for like $700. I'm DDR4 though in my older box, and like DDR5 kits for 64 gig were like 1,000. Like what? This okay? So, just to side rant, that is AI. That's AI, right? Because you need RAM for server farms, you need VRAM for the video cards. So like RAM is becoming more expensive because the same people that make the system board RAM also make the VRAM in some cases. And they're spending way more time making the VRAM for GPUs and massive memory kits for server farms because they can send them out in pallets. It's a very big problem brewing that not only affects our access to supply chain, it's going to put stress on power grids, it's going to hurt the environment, and it's going to do all of that to replace around 100 million jobs in a decade in the United States alone. Sign me up. That sounds fantastic. I would love to pay more for RAM and GPUs while we watch the economy collapse for a few billionaires. It's going to be a few years before we can afford PCs again. You might want to buy now because one of two things happens. The economy, the economy is going to crash at some point. Let's be honest. If we continue down a capitalistic path where you are just handing power to billionaires and not taxing them and saying the problem, I don't generally get political here, but those people who generally say the problem are immigrants and point the finger that way, like that's not the problem. The fucking billionaires are the problem. But what do we know? I think people don't understand how much money a billion is in comparison. Like, how many, what is it like a million seconds is, hey Google, how long is a million seconds? Is 11 days. Hey Google, how long is a billion seconds? It's like 30 years. 31 years. Hey, Google, stop. So, like, think about that in a time scale perspective. Like regular working people are not that far off from a millionaire. Like, we are all closer to being a millionaire than, I don't know, than any movie star is to being Elon Musk. Like, you're talking about a million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 31 years. Like, that's the kind of money scale that we're talking about there. And we are in such a rush to make Sam Altman rich so he can generate silly pictures for us, so that they can build algorithms that are literally going to crush the environment, make PC components and electronic components ultra expensive. Everything, computers, phones, consoles, it's got a chip in it. It's going to get expensive. It's going to get worse. It's not just the economy and inflation. It's the availability of the electronics components, the circuit boards. Throw tariffs into the mix too. Like, there's a big mess brewing. So if you want to buy a computer, maybe pull the trigger now before RAM is $2,000 for a kit. But what do I know? I don't know. I'm hoping nothing burns out on me anytime soon. I've got one purchase I would like to make next year, and I don't even know how much it costs. But it is a Steam machine, just so I can more comfortably play games in the living room with my daughter. Right now we Steam Deck, which is not terrible, but a Steam machine would probably run better, I'm guessing, and be a little more purpose-built for the living room. Okay, I'm sorry for the rant and taking it sideways, but those are my thoughts. They come streaming out. 5800X will last a few more years still. Yeah, I got the 3080, and like, the 3080 is fine if you're not playing AAA games, because AAA games have decided that like 4080 is your new entry point if you want the recommended specs. What was the Indiana Jones one? Was like, if you want to play at 1080 on medium, you needed 3080. And it was a decent, like, I had fun with the game, but I also played it one session and never picked it up again. It looked good. It didn't really compel me, but like, I don't know. I don't need a game to look that good that my 3080 is the bare minimum entry point. Games don't have to look that amazing to be fun. Wow, we had Edge of Map Fog cut to Edge of Map Fog. That doesn't happen often. Did we get three? Will we get three in a row is the question. Probably not. Nope. That's okay. That's very unlikely to happen. Was going to buy a pre-built for CS2, but after seeing what a dumpster fire, I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. Can you imagine? Because, like, here's the thing. Let's say you bought a pre-built for CS2, and by the time it is fun to play, that pre-built will probably be in need of an upgrade. Imagine like buying a pre-built and then like, oh, like that I'm investing in Cities 2. I'm buying a pre-built, I'm getting a new computer, I'm going all in, maybe 4080, 4090, baller CPU. And then the game drops, and then you wait 2 years for lackluster, mixed, or mostly negative DLC. I would have been pissed if that was my main investment reason for getting a new PC at the time. $1060, however, will not 1060. Poor went out for the 1060. What a beast of a legend. The 1060 was the reigning champion of Steam for so long. I had a 1060 for a very long time. I believe a stink bug found its way into my case and shorted the card out, if I do recall. If you don't know what a stink bug is, consider yourself lucky. They tend to come into the house, like this is stink bug season. Like when it starts getting cold and starting to snow and frost, they start to look for ways into the house. And I'm pretty sure they can slip. My office has a chimney, and even with the flute closed and the netting up top to keep the squirrels out, I'm pretty sure the stink bugs can get in. So that is likely their way into my office if I had to guess. But they are the worst. And they shorted out my 1060. I upgraded to a 1660 Ti for a while. Handed that down to my daughter's machine. I got a 2070 Super. Handed that down to my wife's machine and upgraded to a 3080. Like, I don't generally upgrade every year, every wave, obviously, since I still have a 3080. But like, there were reasons, like, we needed to upgrade those other computers at the time. So like, my wife and daughter were fine with the hand-me-downs, and I just went up a little bit in the GPU scale. I've never had a 90 series card. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with the 80. It's enough. Like, do I like seeing a game on ultra settings? Like, yeah, that's cool. But I just want it to play good and not break my bank. There's other things I would rather spend money on. Like a bunch more games to play at medium settings. Like hundreds of games that I will never even boot up because they were on Steam sale. And I thought, hey, your backlog isn't big enough. You should get more games. Man, I canceled Game Pass. Or I didn't cancel it. I have like the Essential, the cheapo one now. Because it's the online too on Xbox. But I canceled Ultimate. My wife did too. And I uninstalled all the Ultimate games. I'm so surprised what is not on Game Pass Essential. Like, blows my mind. Like, Game Pass Essential, $10 a month, online gaming. Here's a series of curated games that'll get you into Game Pass. They don't include Halo with that. I wonder why Halo Infinite is dead when you don't understand that it is such a core property that you should probably include it in your base Game Pass and get everybody into it, because you get people into it and then they spend money in the store. Maybe they buy the campaign for themselves, but like, the multiplayer is free. The campaign, like, that should be on Game Pass. Why is that? Well, it is on the Ultimate, but you got to upgrade for that if you want Halo. No. Who is making those decisions at Xbox? By the way, the RAM that we were just talking about, did everybody hear? There's probably going to be a third Xbox price hike coming within 12 months. Which is just insane to think about, because they don't have backup RAM in their factories, so like, they got to go buy expensive RAM. What is the Series X right now? $650 at Best Buy for a 1 terabyte? Get out of town. That's crazy. I think it's like $850 or $800 for the 2 terabyte now. Which, comparatively, buying a $650 console and a $150 memory card, the maths, but I don't think it's a good platform to invest in. I'm an Xbox fan literally since day one. Owned an Xbox since day one. 2001, playing Halo. And I'm telling you, don't buy one. Buy a $650 console, can't play CS2. So, did everybody see I was excited for a hot minute, and I decided, you know what? No, let's not pre-order the ROG Ally Xbox X, the Asus ROG Ally X, whatever it is. I think that's what it is. That's a name scheme. The Asus bit threw me, because they have been doing some shady stuff over the years. I'm so glad that I didn't buy that handheld, because when the reviews came out, one of the worst things that I saw was the update. And keep in mind, like, this is Xbox first step into something that is not a console technically. And the next thing they want to do is a new Xbox that's kind of like a PC for your living room. The Steam Machine's going to do that way better. So what does Xbox do? They push out a handheld. Go watch some reviews. Check out the UI. So when you're playing games, it's the PC version of the game. I thought they were emulating a console so that I could play, say, City Skylines Remastered console, bring my save over there. That would be really cool. But no, it's the PC version of these games. And the handheld is a PC. That's fine. Now, you would think there's a really nice stylized interface that, sits on top of everything. Like the Xbox, which is a dumbed down PC with a simplified UI. That's what makes it work. In fact, it was very much a PC when the first one came out. It had all the same IDE ribbon cables. It had physical hard drives with spindle platters, DVD trays in 2001, right? It was a micro PC. Like I was building PCs at the time for a job, and like I would have to do some of these micro configurations for offices that weren't that different from an original Xbox hardware in size and scope and structure. It was a PC with a different front end. They were hiding the operating system behind the scenes and giving you a controller UI and simple controls. So what is the new Xbox handheld? Well, you can Alt-Tab out of the Xbox interface and get to a regular Windows desktop, which is, okay, it's there. But like it's really easy to just like tab over. So there's one UI that is the Xbox app, and that's how you interact with most of the things they want you to do. But if you want to update your device, well, you have to do that through Windows Update. And when you update Windows, it updates all the Windows things like Calculator and Notepad and spreadsheets, because those are things you want installed on your console and want to wait an hour and a half for 85 Windows utilities to update. They didn't even bother stripping out the bloat. And so, okay, you've got the Xbox interface, you've got the Windows that it's sitting on, but then it's an Asus device, and Asus loves Armory Crate, which is their updating mechanism. So like you can update the software install of Windows through Windows, but if you want to update the firmware and the hardware, then you do that through Asus Armory Crate. And they have 3 different UIs. Windows looks like Windows, Asus looks like Asus, and Xbox looks like Xbox, and it's on the same device. And like, don't worry, our next console is going to be this, but in your living room. And then Steam's like, get out of our way. Shut up, Xbox. Whoever is like, I don't know. I kind of like Phil Spencer's vibe for the first few years he was up there. He seemed okay. But if he is like literally, unless he is phoning in his job and not doing it, which shame on him if he is, because he's sinking a brand, but I don't think that's the case. Like, this is just stupid. I think it's above Phil to some extent. It's got to be. Like, Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. They're looking at how much money do we have to spend to make X amount of dollars. And if they can reduce the spend to make a better profit margin, the quality of the art does not matter if it is an acceptable minimum. And that's where we are at. They don't give a crap. And they're pushing out a handheld with 3 different UIs, charging $1,000 for it, saying this is the future of gaming. And then Steam's like, hold my beer. Like, that literally, depending on the price point, could sink that next Xbox. If Xbox didn't sink it themselves already. That bus stop is totally fine. Hop in the middle of the homunculus and wait your turn. It's totally normal. It's like an hour and a half wait, by the way. I heard that Xbox is moving to Windows 11. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. They will probably have to update the Xbox backend because technically, isn't that on a Windows 10 kernel, which isn't getting updates anymore? So technically they're doing extended support for paying customers. I'm sure Microsoft is a paying customer. So they probably have access to the backend kernel updates that they need to keep the operating system relatively secure, even though it is more locked down to begin with. So it's not, I don't know. Windows 11 updating on PC was awful for me. It was such an atrocious experience, and for streaming and complex virtual audio routing, it is a nightmare. It's settled down a bit, but I never do updates when they pop. I wait till it forces the update, and even then, I'll leave my computer on a couple days and not reboot it before, just in case like something bad is gonna happen. Pondering this, why did Larry Herb leave Xbox? I don't know that he made the decision to leave. 20 years with the company, working the next chapter of his career, new roles, joining the community team at Unity and the Microsoft Alumni Network. Join a team at Unity as part of the community team. Board trustee of the Microsoft Alumni Network. Public face of Xbox. Herb's departure led to official Xbox podcasting taking a hiatus to be restructured to a new format. The way he used to do his intro, I used to think his name was Larry Herbex. Larry Herbex? I'm Larry Herbex, Bucks Live's Dave Nelson. Like, what? Your name's Larry Herbex? What? What did you say? Almost always screws my audio settings. Yeah, audio settings are the worst in Windows 11. I had a ton of problems with it. It was a thorn in my side regularly. I might still have streams on here where like the first 5 minutes are me trying to reset my audio stack and get my microphone working again, because it would shut off when I started streaming with OBS. And I would have to like deactivate it in Device Manager and reactivate it, and then reset the audio stack. It was stupid. It hasn't done that for a while though, thank God. So if you weren't here earlier, I don't know exactly how we got in the tangent, but we started looking, I went on a rant about the Accolades trailer. So the trailer for City Skylines 2 that came out at release, and it shows all the scores of the news outlets that ranked them. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5. And none of them are outlets you've heard of. And I was like, let's go check Metacritic. And Game Rant, who they said was a 4.5 out of 5, actually gave the game a 7 out of 10. So that led to us reading a bunch of reviews and derailing things. Stream usually gets derailed. That's what I do. So if you don't mind the derailment, or maybe are a fan of it, subscribe for more. Leave a like if you're enjoying. It's always appreciated. I mean, known issue with voice meter and that update, sure, but like it didn't do it in 10, so I know where the problem is. Game Rant of them lying about their review. I mean, I don't know if it's really that. I don't even know if it's really that big of a deal at this point. Like, when is? Do I still have that window open? When is the last comment on that? Where do I go? Where do I go? YouTube history. $159,000 views. Most recent comments is from a year ago. Nice. Oh, I didn't dislike this video yet. There you go. There's a dislike for you. Comments. BS. This game is a hot mess. Broken game, breaking bugs, performance optimization, economy, broken assets, stagnant population, 52% approval rating on Steam. Oh yeah, they didn't add that to their list of accolades. You guys are false advertising, are on damage control. You released a broken, unfinished game to customers who paid, the who paid is in caps, full price. I feel like you emphasized the wrong words there. You lied, you failed, and now for the past year, your stock price has been on a constant decline. What? Who's publicly traded? BDX? Paradox, Interactive. Have I never looked at their stock price? Where are they traded? $17? Peak of 28 back in 2020? Oh, so they're not really. God, why did you even IPO? Just stay private and not frickin' have to toe the line for shareholders. How much? What is your market cap? 16 billion SEK. Hey, Google, how much is 16 billion SEK? 1.6 billion dollars? Is that for real? Is that for real? Is that their market? Is that Paradox Interactive's market cap? 1.6 billion? That cannot be right. That cannot be right. I'm Decoy, I'm just hoping the economy doesn't do anything terrible in the next week because I'm getting ready to cash out my RSUs. I've been there 5 years now. Pretty excited not to have a mortgage. I'm getting out. Just please don't crash the economy in the next week. Stock window's not open till the 4th. Okay. Who's working tomorrow? I still technically have work tomorrow, but I have nothing on my calendar. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty slack day. Okay. City is not falling apart, even though it's been cinematicing for a while. That's okay. I don't know. We got a lot of progress tonight. We did get a little bit of a modification here. This works much better with the lower buildings. They're not so imposing. We could probably do some more trees here, clean up the highway. There's a lot I can do. I think I mentioned this earlier. I do want to get to the point where we don't have all these disabled buildings. We're getting there. It's getting a little closer. Let's take a look at the skyline from 2 episodes ago. I'm pretty sure we have electric problems at night, but just disregard that. It's not bad. Not bad for a console dipstick. I don't know. Let's say twit. Usually they send us home around lunch. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some games tomorrow, Kanga. Work retail, so you work every holiday and every weekend. Do you at least get some extra time, like extra pay for it? When do you think Baby Mouse is going to be ready for No Man's Sky? When can we get her own ship? 8 hours bonus holiday pay. Okay, well, all right. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It'd be the trolling that I'd be worried about with my daughter. She's 9. Like she's a pretty competent gamer, but she's more interested in trolling and causing chaos than she is being helpful at the moment. Which is because she's a very sweet, helpful kid. Like I think we've taught her really well. She's very caring for others. Except when you're in a video game with her, and then she will destroy your soul and rip off your head and do something terrible in the socket. Like, I don't know where it comes from. Actually, I do. I'm kind of a troll, so like, I shouldn't even say that. But I would love to like find a cool survival game. I mean, she loves Minecraft. I would love to find a cool different game where we could kind of like go out and build something and explore, and that would be nice. No Man's Sky is probably a little much for her at 9. I pray when my son gets old enough to game, he won't troll. You gotta find the right games, right? Games you can turn friendly fire off, and games that have a fun goal for them that they can work towards, and you can teamwork together. Or 1v1 him at Rust and teach him why kids are trash at first-person shooters. You gotta develop object permanence before you can beat me at this one, kid. Playing a 3-year-old at CS. Traumatizing him. You each have PvP for No Man's Sky, okay. Trouble is you could dig holes and bury people? Yeah. We're not going to teach her that. One for my 2-year-old son on Rust to show him who's the boss? Exactly. Don't forget to teabag. That's what you get, kid. I'm sorry, that's really inappropriate. Get good, son. I always had a suspicion you weren't my real son. My son would be better at games. What the fuck is wrong with me? Oh my god. So I am enjoying the view at Riverrun. Like, look at this, the stadium off to the left. We get the pockets of skyscrapers. I'm still not sure about the observation tower. I think the observation tower has to go or get moved into the cluster immediately next to the other skyscrapers. But then again, like, that observation tower next to the really tall skyscraper on the left, and then you can't see out all sides of the observation tower because it's too tall. Which, by the way, speaking of buildings that are too tall, I love Revo, but did everybody see the scale of those skyscrapers? There's one that is like, that is the modern day Tower of Babel. That is trying to get to heaven. He's trying to build a new space station. He's gonna launch it into orbit from the top of his skyscraper. I love Revo's stuff. I love to I gotta ask him to commission something. I gotta commission something for New Boston. But it's like the trains are amazing, the mid-century modern, the skyscrapers. Like, guy's got talent. He's also funny as hell. I love me and him bust balls on on Egg's Discord server all the time. I didn't teach you to game like that. Get the fuck out of my house, kid. You're grounded. You're grounded. No hanging out with your friends. You're running scrims with dad. You're getting kicked out of the clan if you don't shape up. Okay, do we have electricity problems? We don't. Why does the electricity fluctuate so much at night? It's weird. Or did I turn the budget up enough? Oh no! No. When one tree goes, they all go. Oh no. No. Okay, they're gonna put out one. No way! No way! No shot. No. Really? I thought that was entire forest was gonna go up. And that one helicopter was like, don't worry, I'll save the day. I will float over a house for an hour and a half that's on fire until it spreads to the neighbor. But these three oh, I got this in one shot. I don't doubt your wife would have a problem with that comic, but it would probably make a really funny short if you were, if it was a setup, not like actually doing it to a child. But you could probably make a funny short out of that. Fire's been leaving you alone lately? Well, earlier today, was it Patton that said something about the buildings? I built, over here by the football stadium, I built some of the wall-to-wall stuff. And I think it was Patton. If it was somebody else, sorry for giving credit to Patton. I think it was. Right away is like, wait a minute, don't wall-to-walls catch fire faster? Or 2x fire? And I was like, yeah, but isn't that kind of the point? It's kind of fun, right? And like 3 seconds later, one of the buildings that came into existence, not 30 seconds before, immediately burst into flame. It was like one of the first buildings that got built with the demands. And it immediately burst into flames. Like, what the hell? You know what? Come to think of it, Kung hasn't been around the chat much lately, Kango. He has a knack for showing up around ridiculous fires. And he has not been active, so... I don't know why, but CS1 at night looks so gorgeous with all the road lights, and it's sad CS2 can't look as good. Yeah, night was really busted at first. I don't know if you remember, but like when creators who had early access did 3 videos, nobody showed night. It was really broken. It was really broken in early access. And I think it still to this day doesn't look as good. The art style and the color, like some of these Art Deco buildings and these buildings when they hit level 5, they're a little silly, a little cartoony. The scale of everything is a little bit off. But there's color and it pops. And as much as I want to change the yellow lights on the 4-lane roads, it also adds something that there's this mixture of different colors and the lights and how everything blends together. Like, I don't need a better looking game. I need a better playing game. I need more features and functionality, less repetitive buildings. Like, there's lots of little things you could do to make the game better that doesn't require a brand new engine and a 4090 and, you know, flying your ship into orbit so you can cool it in the vacuum of space. Man, I remember when Cities 2 came out and starting the game, just running the game would immediately peg your GPU to 100%. I don't know if it still does that, but like you shouldn't need 100% of my GPU and 600 watts of power for a menu. You should probably save some overhead. It's like you're revving the car to red line to drop it into first to exit the school parking lot. Slow down, dude. Especially with the color correction options, it makes CS1 look so vibrant. Speaking of, want to get weird for a minute? Wait, hold on. Wait. Music. View all. Is noir a category of music I can do on no, this is the wrong music. No, noir, like mystery maybe. What do we look for? Some mystery music. What's the most popular mystery song on Epidemic? What's something that's got more of a beat? Can we get like is there a detective music song? What would like old detective movie music technically be called? Like what if we go by decade and we try some random 1950s? What do we have for genres? Classic jazz. No. This is 50s classic jazz. This does not sound like no. Okay, funny 1950s. Nope. How are these songs funny? Nope. What kind of music am I looking for old black and white city footage? Do we have is there like a big band? Because this is not what I'm looking for. Kind of. Maybe that was more what I was looking for. What about this? Maybe? Maybe we can do that. That might go good with the black and white. Feeling like you're watching old black and white sitcoms with your dad? Man. I don't remember watching a lot of black and white TV. I'm sure I watched some reruns with my grandfather of something. He liked MASH a lot, and MASH was color. Hey, that song's stuck in my head now. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of black and white TV, honestly. I mean, I remember being a kid, like, knowing of I Love Lucy, but not, like... Yeah, I don't know. I remember watching a lot of Bruins. The Boston Bruins with my grandparents. They used to swear in French until I started swearing in French as an elementary school kid, and they were like, oh, shit. We may as well just swear in English now. So that he'll stop swearing in French. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. This could work with the right zoning, but like the Art Deco modern is not necessarily. Although just looking at this like black and white, it makes me feel like the music makes me feel 1950s LA and makes me want to go play LA Noire again. Okay. Let's change the filter and find a new soundtrack. What do we got here? That's no filter. That's just the default game look. I haven't seen it in default in a while, honestly. I don't remember where I was at. Was I on warm? I feel like I was on warm. I don't think it was vibrant. Warm looks correct. That's 70s? Was the 70s all orange? Okay. I guess the 70s was orange. Let's see what the 70s sounded like on Epidemic Sound. And how many songs we have to flip through before we get like a one that actually feels like the 70s. No? Is that gonna play? No. Not really. I mean, it's a little bit of a funk riff, but that beat is so tight and obviously electronically produced. And I like this guy's music, Ryan James Carr, but it's not 70s. Nope. Again, those are way too tight and electronic. Nope. Whatever. I don't even care. Whatever. Here's a 70s rock song. Disco or folk? Yeah. What do we got? What do we got? Pop rock, soul. Let's see what the soul is. Okay. Actually, never. I'm gonna shut up. And let the silky sounds of Sven Lindvall and Daniel Friedel. The silky sounds of Sven Lindvall. This is a new genre on YouTube. This is Orange City Skylines. Say that 3 times fast. The silky sounds of Sven Lindvall. Here, coming at you live, the silky sounds of Sven Lindvall from Riverrun, WRNNN. You can run away, but you'll never get away from the funk. Sven Lindvall. WRRR. The pirate sounds of Riverrun, RWR. I gotta make some commercials. I've had some ideas and I think I've jotted them down in a notebook here or there. But I do want to make some like in-universe cities commercials where I can be like, oh, we got a sponsor, hold on. Or just be like, be right back and leave you with a fake ad instead of a, like just a city sitting there. What's everybody building? Is everybody still playing cities? Everybody on console, on PC? What are people doing? I've been getting back into it. I've got a couple projects that I want to do. New Boston, very high up on my list. I'm very close to not bothering recording it. I really want to record it. I want to turn it into a series, but I also just want to do it. And if I haven't been feeling like producing content, should I just stream it and do it and maybe make a video of it when it's done? Maybe. I think that's what I'm leaning towards, about just getting off the pot and doing it on a stream rather than worrying about recording it. I could if I wanted to. I don't know if it would be interesting, but to like record it, get a little behind the scenes stream of what recording and editing a video is like. That might be interesting for some people. It might be awful too. But it could be kind of interesting. I will say, like, I mean, I'm not that I'm gonna do it perfect, but I have kind of worked out Let's Plays and tutorials to kind of a formula where I've gotten very good about recording the things in order, so editing is just trimming out the silence or the moments that took me to set up for the next shot, more than it is like, you know, kind of repiecing the entire thing together. Let's Plays and tutorials, you can kind of record them in order very easily. The massive documentary I want to work on the city of Boston it's a huge undertaking because it's a lot of writing, it's a lot of research, it's a lot of digging up old photos from libraries and conservation centers and places that are trying to save and hold on to these old city planning documents. I've been able to find a ton of great stuff so far, but it's very time consuming, and like the Let's Play format's a lot easier because you can do it again in order, just lay it down and chop out the blank space. But when you're trying to find all this footage and research, and my head's kind of spinning. Been addicted to Star Trucker. Gotten back into CS, yeah. Starting a new city, nice. Okay, are there any more? What do we have? We had Sepia. Way too dark. Super green. What's green music? What is this? What is the point of this filter? I don't get it. What the hell is green music? Scandinavian music. Okay. I don't expect this is gonna work well. It's just for the stupidness, honestly. Yeah, no. What is the point of this green filter? That's the last filter too. Like some of these are okay. Like you can change the look of your city a little bit. I don't like the haze of this. Like it's okay in the sky. I don't like it in the city on the grass. Cold is just very dark. Warm is, I think, a nice sweet spot. It brightens it up quite a bit. Okay, back to music. What do we have? Let's go around the world. I mean, you probably can't go wrong with a good Cuban vibe here. Let's see. No. Yeah. Okay. Not really thematic for the map, but happy to hear you and glad you fixed the city fully. Well, I don't know if it's fully, but where were we at yesterday? Like, what's our bank at? 380. So we're in the red at the moment, but we are way more in the green most often. I haven't gone back to like do any more parks or anything like that. We still got to trim down some of the subway lines. So there's work that we can do, and we will exploit more parks and things like that, but I don't want to make it look out of place. If we could make it look good, then I'm totally fine with it. But yes, I would definitely say the city's doing well. It's slow building up the money, but you know, I left it running for I think 2 hours today and went from what were we at? 375 up to 380, 379 when I started to stream maybe. So it's doing good. We can definitely afford to do some big projects with the $380 million we have in the bank, but we also have the potential to potentially be my first $1 billion city. So I think we'll get there soon. Oh yeah, Sin. So I went off on a rant about the Accolades trailer. So the Accolades trailer is the trailer that came out on release day from cities. It's like, this news outlet gave us a 9 out of 10. So did this news outlet. And you've never heard of most of them? Right? You've never heard of most of these outlets? Let me get the board back up. I'll show you. What is frame bracket? Okay. Is this still the right window? Probably not. No. Oh, it is. Okay. So if you look up in the top left of the screen, it says Game Rant gave us a 4.5 out of 5, which is a 90, a 9 out of 10. And then we went over to Metacritic. Where's all? Do you scroll down? How did I get here before? I forget. Do you click on the 61 critic reviews? Game Rant. No. Game Rant. F. So all the outlets you never heard of are at the top with the high scores, and then the ones you have heard of are all in the yellow at the bottom. Is it 2 words? Is that why? Let me just search rants. Where the hell are they? Game Rant 70. So they gave it a 70, and the Accolades trailer says that they gave it a 90. So I think that's a little irresponsible at best. It's just like, it's the one outlet that most people will know. I mean, some people may know Sports Illustrated in the US, but like, it's the outlet that probably most people know, which is, I bet, why it's in the top left of the screen where your eye goes to read. Look, ooh, Game Rant gave it a 90. Actually, no, Game Rant gave it a 70. And it's in yellow on Metacritic. Only 4 reviews are out of 5. The others are out of 10, and 1 is 5 is false. So how many are actually fake? Like, we could go through all these, but like, I think a lot of them were correct. So if we look at over here, Tech Radar giving it a 5 out of 5 is still so amazing. We read that review in full. But why though gave, oh, here, can we do this? We can do this side by side, right? Oh, actually I can't. No, I can't. Hold on. If I switch this, give me 2 seconds. It's going to go quiet. Okay, so now we are in display capture mode. Can I make this? Whatever. What if I hit T over here? Can I go into theater mode? Yeah, I can. Okay. Okay, so most of these are correct. Noisy Pixel with a 9. Multiplayer IT with a 9. Dual Shockers with a 9. Right? Were they a 9 on here? Where the hell were they? Dual Shockers with a 9. Screen Rant. They don't bother putting NPR on there. Did they release this review late? No, they did it. They did it at embargo. I'm amazed all these people had this game before the embargo lifted, before the patch, and gave it this good of a score, because this isn't even release day, Cities. This is 2 patches before that, Cities. And you are all irresponsible if you gave this at all a commendable score. Game Pressure, I feel like that was one of them. Here's the thing, right? Like, these are all the outlets that we haven't heard of. Shack News, VG247, The Gamer. These are all ones that are over here to the left on the official Cities Skylines review. Sports Illustrated gave it an 80. Ooh, IGN Italy gave it an 80. Gamer NL, Game Mag, Rage Quit. Like, most of you probably have not heard of these outlets. Game Informer, there you go. There's one that you've heard of, a 75, just barely in the green. And then look down here in the, if we go to the bottom of the list at the most critical scores, Games Radar, Eurogamer Germany, PC Games, IGN. Like, all the outlets that you recognize are at the bottom of the list if you look at the scores based on that quality. Hang on a second. Back to capture. Okay. Sorry, I'm not set up to turn that on and off without going into the capture. I could do it in studio mode, but whatever. But how crazy is that they just like straight up lied about the review? And maybe it was a mix-up, but like whatever. How long is the console embargo good for, as most are time restricted to a set date? So I don't know if any reviewers got a console copy. I can tell you that I was told it was coming and then I never got it. So they decided late on that. I think they decided, and this is speculation, this is not me breaking NDA because they never told me, but I'm pretty sure like after the shit hit the fan and they were like, hey, we're going to put out a post that we're releasing a game that isn't ready. I think that was the same post, wasn't it? That like we have not reached the targets we were aiming for. And by the way, console is delayed. I think that was the same post. So I don't think anybody outside of Colossal Order and now Ice Flake Studios, I don't think anybody outside of those 2 studios have played City Skylines console. I promise those lower score ratings from the long established journalism tropes is probably a better metric on the state of the game at that point. Yeah. Realized the console trailer of CS2 literally PC gameplay because they didn't have the gameplay for the console version. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one trailer that, yeah, no, I never got my hands on the console version. So the fact, like, I will say console is a lot tougher. Like, getting somebody a file to run on their PC, you could send it to them. That is not very safe. I don't recommend working with devs you don't know and running random EXEs. But inside of the Steam client, you can right-click on any game and go to properties and set how it launches. And you can sometimes access early testing branches if the dev publishes them. Sometimes they lock those behind codes. So on Steam, all we had to do was be in the in crowd, get a code, paste it, and you could grab whatever beta build was out. It's pretty easy. To do that same experience on Xbox, I needed to provide my gamer tag and email, as well as my unique console UUID and serial number. And they have to add that console into their dev pool that allows you to access a game on the store that otherwise couldn't be accessed through a normal traditional Xbox download. I take it back. You technically have to download the thing on the web store, and then your console's like, hey, you own this game, you want to download it? Like, yes, please. But that whole fiasco was a big pain in the ass. I remember one release, and I talked about it because it was like, I'm trying to do content and I have a buggy version of the game because I had the early console version of one of the DLC releases, and they forgot to remove me from the dev pool. So I wasn't an official customer at that point and didn't need, as far as they were concerned, the update because they were pushing out those manually. So like, here it is, game day, one of the DLCs is shipped, and I've got bugs that every other player doesn't have. You remember that, Decoy? Yeah. I think I was asking in the Discord, like, wait, what does everybody's game version say if you go here? Son of a... And it was on like a holiday weekend too, I remember, so it was like 5 days before they pulled it back out. And then the next time they did that, like when the testing was done and the like embargo was up and I was done recording, I was like, please, before you guys leave for the weekend, please, please, please let my game update. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I don't know if it still does it, but when you used to boot up the game, Cities was incapable of using less than 100% GPU. It only knew how to max out a GPU even at the menu without any movement in the background. Improved quite a bit from launch, sure, especially performance. At least until bikes, they broke the performance again, didn't they? I gotta find. Apparently, Fallout did an update, and I wonder if they fixed stuff. They really broke the mods, unfortunately, because all the mods, a lot of the mods, I should say, not all the mods, but a lot of the mods would build off a DLC you already had. So like the DLCs would all add these new objects, and then some of the mods for building settlements, for example, would pull all those objects so that you could use all of those and make these really unique creations. That's a shot. What is that? Is that a mountain that is not technically... We're not seeing through it. It's just the light is not lighting it correctly. There's a zoo at night. Some of those exhibits need more light. I was going off on a tangent on something. I don't even know at this point. The fact that bikes weren't added at launch is just as bad. Yeah. They were in for a very long time. Were they After Dark? Were they like the first DLC of Cities 1 in 2015? They might have been. I don't know why the Cuban music, but I'm okay with it. I love, like, this is Epidemic Sound, so it's like, you know, it's kind of like getting a cover band. But I love Cuban music. Oh my God. Ruben Gonzalez. Woo! Ruben Gonzalez is an amazing story. So like he was poor and destitute and had such bad arthritis he couldn't play piano anymore. And then Ry Cooder like got Buena Vista Social Club together and got all that stuff happening. And made it so he could afford his medicine and play. Like he had stopped playing for years. And he's one of the most amazing piano players in the world, in my opinion. Just, the soul that pours off of that guy's piano is amazing. Absolutely reminds you of Tropico, yeah. There's just something that's, I love, it's so summery. It makes me feel warm, even though it is 47 degrees out here in New England right now. I mean, to be fair, it's 47 outside. It's probably like 68 in my office. I'm nice and comfy. I'm okay. I'm in a t-shirt. I'm here just chilling. Oh. Did everybody hear that they're making an Overcooked TV show? I can't wait to see competitive Overcooked. I think that's what it is. I think it's a competitive cooking show. It's going to be stupid, I'm sure. It's going to be awesome. Oh, that's nothing. At 47 is actually really... I would go out in a t-shirt right now, Sin. T-shirt and jeans or hoodie and shorts is okay for 47. 47, when it hits 40s in the spring, windows open in the car, my friend. Summer is approaching. Let's get a fresh breeze and crank the tunes. Why doesn't do cold? I can't do heat, so... I mean, not that it's a place anybody should be in the summer, but we made the mistake of doing a Disney World vacation in Florida, and it was the end of July, beginning of August. And I don't think I've ever been as miserable on planet Earth as I was in Florida, in Orlando in August. It's like 75 here. How hot does it get in the summer? How hot does it get in the summer? Tell me about your summertime temperatures, my friend. Hold on a second. Let me see something here. Massachusetts record high temperature. Record high temperature in Massachusetts, all time, 107. That is a Tuesday in April in Arizona. And don't tell me otherwise. Mesa, toasty in the summer, yeah. Ooh, did everybody see that there's probably, maybe news is broken on this and I'm just totally out of the loop, but potential for a Half-Life 3 because there's a Valve project listed on Steam and the project name. What the hell is the name of the Sandhills Park? I can't think of it now. What the hell is the name? It's gonna bug me like crazy now. But it's like a nature park near where Black Mesa would have been, of course. The hell's the name of it? I can't remember it now. UK summer gets like 25 degrees. I think it'll definitely have closer. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second, comic. Hey, Google, what's 25 degrees Celsius in real degrees? 77. That's nice. That's comfy. And I know how ridiculous the imperial systems are. I'm just dunking on the metric system. It makes more sense. I wish we had standardized when I was a child. Real degrees, LOL. Tell me in American units. Don't 25 degrees in Euro think. Tell me what those degrees will do to raw hamburger. Is there still pink in the center? Puny summer heat compared to the guys, but no AC over here. Yeah. Yeah. Look up 45C2 Imperial Smart. Oh my God. What is there's a crossover point where they are the same temperature. -40. -40 is equivalent. What is the record low temperature in Massachusetts? Negative 35. Which is, what is negative 35 in Celsius for those of you? Negative 35 in Celsius. Hey Google, what is negative 35 Fahrenheit in Celsius? Hey Google, what is negative 35 Fahrenheit in Celsius? There's a math formula. I can't math. Negative 37. It's close. Like I said, 40 is that. Negative 40 is the point where they converge. Negative 40 is cold. I've been out briefly in negative 30 something, and like any exposed skin hurts almost immediately. It's insane. Record low in San Francisco is 27? It barely gets cold enough to freeze water out there? You deserve all the horn honking and engine noise for that. I'm sorry, I know it's really annoying, but so is 30 degree below zero face hurt. That's also pretty annoying. It snowed here in 76. Fuck off, Kate. You're gonna get muted. Get out of here. 76. I wasn't born yet, Ganga. Melting sun and death freeze winters? Yeah, but at least it has a numerical scale system I can understand that's completely arbitrary. That makes no sense in any other context. Oh. Little edge of map fog and some stuff spawning in there. I appreciate people tuning in just to rant about cities with me in the chat. This is great. It's not always about the building. I was born in 78, Sin, so not far behind. You start using Kelvin, none of us will know what the temp is. Hey Google, what's 47 degrees Fahrenheit in Kelvin? 281 degrees, Jesus, it's hot. 281 Kelvin, that is definitely t-shirt weather. Born in 02. Oh man, what did I see today? What did I see today? We were watching Shrek the Third with my daughter, and there was some post that showed up. And it was like, there are parents today who were not alive when Shrek hit theaters, which was in 2001. So if you happen to be a parent, wait, you are? We were talking about your kid earlier. You're talking to a 2-year-old, right? So yes, you were the meme that I read earlier about the parents making me feel old because there are parents that weren't alive when Shrek came out. So there you go. There was another half to that meme, but that's the part that's stuck in my head now. I don't think I think I read it to my wife. I don't think I like saved it or anything. I remember getting a chuckle out of it about the times, because we were watching again Shrek the Third at the time, and it just made me feel even that much more old. I'm not sure what I don't know if this is an insult or a meme I don't get. I don't know. I'm out of touch. I have a Fallout video. It's called The Best Starting Weapons, Armor, and Loot in Fallout 4. And it's just like how to find good stuff in like the first easy areas. And the comment that I just got is, quote, "This guy is a pine cone." I don't know what that means, but you know, I'm gonna give it a heart just because I feel like that person needs a heart. Or a brain. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to say. But apparently I am a pine cone. Unless he's referring to one of the NPCs in the video, but I don't feel that that is the case. I would love to go through. I wish there was a way to like mark comments and bookmark them. I'd love to go through and do a video of some of the craziest comments I've ever gotten. There are people that have written books, like literal novellas in the comments, and chosen to do so without carriage returns. Just one paragraph, and it scrolls for days. And like, dude, I will read some rants. I will read some stuff that I vehemently disagree with to see where it's going. But there becomes a point when you can't even be bothered with proper punctuation and paragraph structure, that like your writing is not worth reading. I'm sorry. You need to separate ideas a little bit if you are just going to trauma dump in my comment section. Maybe someone else will read it, but probably not. The creator is probably your best chance at reading one of your comments under a video. Unless you come up with a banger in the first 10 minutes it posted, and then you'll be one of those people that like, you know, in 6 months is editing it like, wow, it's up to 10K likes now. It is 12:06. We are still 30 strong. Do we want to cut the Cuban and do some Bandle or something? Does anybody want to do some web games? What are people feeling? Or do we just want to hang out and listen to me talk nonsense? Because I'm okay with that too. Punctuation is overrated now? No, it is essential in written communication. Here's the thing, Decoy. I don't care about punctuation, capitalization, sentence structure if you are sending me a text or a Slack or a Discord and it is 1 or 2 sentences. But if you have something to say about one of my videos and you disagree with me and you're going to fanboy for a game and you're going to write a novella, novellas come with carriage breaks. I have to go to bed. It's been awesome though. Okay. You're going to bed on the West Coast, so that's saying something. Punctuation is critical. Reading is fundamental. Yes. I am a firm believer that the Oxford comma is underrated. I use it I use it more often than not. It doesn't make sense not to use it, in my opinion. Start work at 7 a.m. in the office. Oh my God, I forgot it's a work night, Kanga. Why did you have to remind me it's a work night? It's probably a good idea that you remind me it's a work night. I gotta be up. Wife and kid do not though. They have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They got a 5-day weekend. So, Apple had a migraine tonight though. She went to bed a little early. Hopefully she's feeling better in the morning. And we'll go do the last of our Thanksgiving shopping. Got to get the bird into brine tomorrow morning. We do a bacon. The turkey gets brined in a bacon Guinness brine. So get a big Home Depot bucket, toss the turkey in there, bunch of water, a ton of kosher salt, mustard seeds, bay leaves, peppercorns, 6-pack of Guinness Stout, and 2 pounds of bacon. And you let that sit for 24 hours, flip it halfway through. My wife does the most amazing prep. So you think like, okay, a nice brine turkey allows you to really cook it, sear the skin, keep the meat still nice and juicy and flavorful. But also that bacon that's in the brine, we take that out. My wife weaves it into like a crosshatch netting and uses that. Like you see there's a very popular technique. I've seen Alton Brown do it a lot, of creating this little like heat shield for like the breastplate of the bird, because that is the white meat, which cooks it to a lower temperature. So you can shield it with like this tin foil. There's a principle behind it. We don't do that. We do it in theory, but the shield is the bacon that came out of the brine. So as your turkey is cooking, the bacon is shielding the white meat and at the same time cooking and rendering the bacon like into the turkey. So like it already tasted like bacon and Guinness and salt and all the flavors. But now you get this extra bacon flavor in it. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. We do that. We do the mashed potatoes, little bit of cream in there with it to make them like extra soft. Squash, stuffing. My wife's gonna do green beans. It's gonna be a spread. Making me hungry? I'm so sorry. If you have not ever brined a turkey or a chicken, you can brine a chicken, you can brine a pheasant. But my God, so like brining is really simple. It's a bunch of water and salt. Choose your spices. But bacon and Guinness in a poultry brine is amazing. It's so good. We've done it. We did it 1 year and we have done it every year since. We've adapted the recipe a little bit here or there, changed some little things around, but it so consistently is a nice, easy cook. It's moist meat. It's flavorful. It's so good. That is our Thanksgiving. That is our Thursday. Technically, that is our tomorrow, because to brine a good bird, you got to probably do it at least 24 hours. So we got to get that bird into the Home Depot bucket tomorrow. Doesn't have to be a Home Depot bucket. It could be anything. In fact, I have a particular aversion to Home Depot most recently because when we went to watch Shrek on Peacock, thank you, Kanga, no reason, just thank you randomly. There was ads. I'm so not used to seeing ads. But they rolled an ad for Home Depot as a pre-roll before the movie, and I was like, nope. I can no longer ever support Home Depot again because they rolled an ad that interrupted my movie experience. And my wife's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they choose where to put ads. They choose where to pay for ads. They chose to interrupt my movie experience. So I am no longer supporting them as an organization. And I think they were perfectly good reasons not to. Also, Tide laundry detergent was another ad that ran before the movie and now is on the boycott list forever because you'd served me an ad. I become so used to not seeing ads because I only watch YouTube Red that I've had since it was YouTube Red, since like the month it came out. We talked about this on a previous stream. I remember it was the era of the 2016 election season, and Here in My Garage, Ty Lopez Knowledge had just come out, and that ad was running everywhere. And right when that ad was busting onto the scene, YouTube Premium came out, and I was like, yup, whatever it costs not to see this guy ever again. And meanwhile, a little over a decade later, he got arrested for a massive Ponzi scheme, $100 million Ponzi scheme. So I was trying to avoid for the right reasons. It is late. I'll be somewhat responsible and call it quits. There's still 30 of you here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in, talking cities, or just listening to me ramble about cities, read reviews, and just go on tangent after tangent. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate this. If you do, subscribe for more of this nonsense. Streams often 9 p.m. There's going to be some new builds soon. I might just do it on stream. Might start working on New Boston. So stay tuned for that. We're going to keep grinding this city up to 1 billion. What do we have right now? Let's check before we sign out. 380 million in the bank. Save the game. Save the backup slot. City's doing great. No problems whatsoever. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying this. We'll keep doing tiny little bits here and there. Some days will be more productive than others. Some days I just get on a rant and keep tearing. And I thank you for being part of the discussion tonight. Again, whether you were just listening or chiming in chat or triggering me about how nice the weather is in your part of the world with your silly number systems. Ridiculous. We'll just have to start a war and conquer the world with the imperial number system. We're good at that. Sub notifications on, and once Bank stops acting stupid, I can join members. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. There's no rush. I'll be here making silly content and hopefully entertaining while the camera whips around and shows this edge of map fog. Thanks for stream indeed. Kenga, if you are around tomorrow, let's get some games or something. Baby Mouse would so be down to game with the two of you if you want to hit up the realm and do something sillier or an adventure or some mini games. Keep your Imperial numbers. I don't want them. Well, you get them anyways. I was trying to think of an example of like some part of the Imperial system that is imposed on you. Is there any of that? Like, I can't think of the metric system really invading my life until I go up to Montreal and I think, like, my God, the speed limits up here, they're crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah, kilometers per hour, never mind. I'm just wondering if there's any of that Imperial invasion. What do you call a quarter pounder over there? A quarter pounder with cheese? Because it's not a Royale in UK, right? This is the important, burning question. A Royale with cheese. And you can walk into a McDonald's, you can buy a beer, and I'm not just talking about a paper cup of beer, I'm talking about a glass of beer. 30 live views to hear you rant. Yeah, exactly. And to ask stupid questions about the Imperial system and quote Pulp Fiction. Just a quarter pounder. Lamau. Hey Google, how much is a quarter pound in kilograms? I would like a 0.113er, please. Sir, get the hell out. I would like to order my McDonald's by the metric system. Sir, this is the DMV. Mouse trigger your Google Home. It's been some nonsense tonight, Adia. Oh my God, watch this one back. It's been pretty much 4 hours of stream of consciousness. We went and read reviews. We ranted about cities mechanics. We ranted about the Imperial system and weather and food. It's been a stream. It's been a stream. Your Google Home keeps telling you the temp conversions. I don't get paid enough for a shite number conversion. Okay, let's call it quits. I appreciate and love you all. You deserve excellent things, and it's gonna happen to you this week. Something nice is gonna happen to you. If you're in the States, it's a holiday, at least some part of Thursday. If you work retail, I apologize. I will do my part and not be shopping at all this weekend as far as I'm planning. I love just downtime and quiet time with the family. We do shopping online a lot, or we'll hit local stores, but we don't need to hit them on Black Friday. And like, I really hope people get some downtime with their family, or at least make a bunch of money if they have to work. If you are in other parts of the world and it is just a Thursday, well, you still could soak a poultry of your choice in a bunch of water and salt and Guinness and bacon and enjoy deliciousness. I highly recommend it. If you want to know what the hell I'm talking about, look up Alton Brown turkey brine. He actually just updated his recipe and process a few days ago. Just this, I think last Friday, Alton Brown posted a new video out of the blue, and it is an update to his video from 20 years ago about brining a turkey and how to prep a turkey, and talks about some things that people complained about, oh, I don't have room in my fridge. Just put some ice in the bucket. You get a frozen bird, you can thaw it out in the brine. That works too. Use it as the ice cube to keep things cold. All right, we can go off on tangents. We talked about all kinds of things. Thanksgiving is this Thursday. If you're in the U.S., I hope you enjoy your holiday. Hope you enjoy time off with your family. And honestly, if you are in any other part of the world, I hope you enjoy your Thursday and time with your family or friends, or a game that you love. And if you're looking, if you don't have anybody to hang out with, come back, hang out here. We're going to play some Jackbox games this weekend at some point. We'll do some web games like Bandle and Food Guesser and just hang out and have some fun and try and convince Comic that the superior measurement system is the Imperial system. But I have a feeling that argument is not going to go anywhere. But it doesn't mean we won't have this discussion again. So get ready. Bring your debate sheet. I'll see you on the next one. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And I will see you on the next one. Until then, this is Move the Mouse signing off, saying good night. Have a fantastic evening, Thanksgiving, rest of the week, whatever it might be. See you in the next one. Bye, everybody.